Varel or anything, but just looking at how the entire rest of the matchups could go in the schedule, like this is very possible for Varel. They take down DFM this week. It's KRX on the next game, and like that's basically a lock-in for playoffs.
Yeah, well, I think it's a very winnable game on both sides here. We'll start things off, obviously, with Varel on the attack on this pistol. Solo duelist might make things a little more tough for them to push their way into these sites, but gonna have to go about it nonetheless. And
hari ini gue menonton
Varel melawan DFM ya. Cuman satu game aja. Kalau
PRX-nya tidak, abang tidur aja. Padahal mah yang seru PRX guys. Yang menang Viral nih.
You do want the rest of the team to create a bit more space towards the A site. Now rotations from DFM coming over too.
They've spotted that wall. It's just a question of whether or not they want to trigger it. Instead, at the moment, playing around with the door, seeing if they can prompt out a push or a peek from any of the DFM players. That boombot dealt with pretty handedly.
Oh, and then the sudden pivot over to the B site.
Yeah, it's an interesting little round so far from Varel. Really toying with the rotations of DFM. Here's the first fight. Suka under a bit of pressure there, but Kaide and May opening the account nicely. Quick trade back on in from a couple of those Varel players, and now that chaos is really starting to run amok. I didn't really know whether or not DFM quite knew where exactly all the Varel players were, but it does come down to the shots in the end, and Akame continues his fine form from weeks 1 and 2 here into the pistol of game 1, week 3. Leaving Zexy alone. No time really to make this happen, and Yasuka is there to finish it off as well. So, I don't know, for DFM it was a bit of a chaotic round really, a slow round as we sort of heard from the analysts. This would probably be the case when it comes to this composition from Varel. But they were really toying with you know, a lot of the positions of DFM there. Ultimately didn't really work out for them off the back of a couple of lost duels.
Which is something I'm curious about. I find it kind of peculiar because one of the main reasons why they were able to take down T1, I believe, on split namely, was when they actually just went ham, double duelist, everyone was rushing multiple rounds, set plays, and T1 got
hari ini cuma stream ini doang guys.
Wow.
Gua tadi bangunnya rada siangan jadinya kayak
kalau gua shenanigans.
Tidak.
It's working out very nicely for DFM.
Besok pasti sore sih kayaknya Minecraft.
Just able to open the account there nicely. Posted on the line. Should Varel have a little bit of a look here? Seems as though they were more interested in just trying to get the orb.
Got to farm up whatever advantage you can for the next rounds. At the same time, though, Crab's looking to do a bit of damage, but recognizing where the utility setups are, and you kind of want to avoid clear lines. But all right. Whole team just did
Nade's
not really going to do too much. May happy to push through it and prepare for a little bit of a farm. Nice 3K to start things off. Build that Blade Storm up. Only a couple of charges away off of the first couple of rounds, but this will be where we get to really dig into what Varel is going to provide for us on the attack.
Hari ini stream ini aja, malam nggak ada stream.
I think they're going to have to slow down the pace just a little bit more. I mean, that round, you know, you're just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping for some damage, but this is very minimal against DFM, meaning DFM has a real good chance to take that bonus up against them. It feels as though DFM are a team that kind of knows how to work off of the, you know, the more careful and slow mid-round plays as well. May is bringing out a round 3 op.
Feeling confident. A forward hold at Ruins for DFM is going to work out. Yatsuka catching up with Foxy9. It's going to see Varel just accelerate through mid a little bit more so, but not committing to the B site just yet. Open that door back up and again, try to toy with some of the rotations. Unfortunately for Varel, they've lost so much map control already that this round is now really going to be quite difficult to put together.
Trailblazer outside of B pillar as well. They might have just spotted a couple of Varel players on the rotate, and that is going to be confirmation on the rotations.
LP is going to walk his way out. He just needs to win this duel.
Waduh.
Doesn't win it. That's when the confidence start to arise. Yatsuka for the 3K in the round and backed up nicely by Akame. This round is kind of just falling apart for Varel.
100%, dude. Spikes down, no hope. Cinder just has to, I don't know, try to survive or find a bit of extra damage if, and that's a really big if, possible.
Well, they know where he is now because he's triggered that wall, so you can see Kaide's just come back across to Jiggle Peak towards spawn.
Just in case, huh?
Yeah, Cinder's just going to wait.
But the other thing is, because he's tripped that wall, May's now been alerted to his potential positioning, which means he had actually a slight chance where he could have stabbed May in the back, but that's gone now. Oh, they're pushing up against him.
Yeah, Cinder really just wants to survive here, but they're aware of his position, and that'll be the 1-for-1. So, happy days for DFM. They take that gun away.
Bau game 3
Nico here.
That's right.
Not exactly the start to week 3 that we would have hoped to have seen from them.
Really just can't allow for the momentum to be swung away like this. But that's what I was kind of wondering about for Varel, looking at their composition. Like, you are pinning quite a bit of responsibility onto Foxy9, maybe even LP as the lurkers on the separate portions of the map. And that means 1v1s, maybe 1v2s. You need to be able to sync those, otherwise your attack is going to be really rough. Right now, though, DFM initially was have to listen in.
Bang Wei. Mati dia.
One enemy remaining.
2-on-1 here in the post plan. Kame needs to step up again for DFM and can't do it this time around. Just kind of lost sight of where Zuno had crossed to. And so Varel have their first round. They did indeed force into that round quack, and a little bit of a faster round as well. Kind of catching DFM off guard. You highlighted that maybe those faster plays were what was working for Varel in previous weeks, and here's a good example of it.
Oh, and Sess even getting taken down by the corner too. I mean, even though the op was here, and like it just will not be able to withstand that much overwhelming. It's not even firepower though. Right? I was thinking of that word, but it's stingers and the trades that they were able to bring into the fray as well. But look at these ults now from DFM. Just a hold and maybe announce their presence a little.
It's a defensive smoke and then an attacker side smoke. So both teams looking to compete for this area of the map. Over the top with that blade storm, no success. Showstopper though has been charged up, and Yasuka wants to get involved with it.
Kaide might be put under test here.
A little bit of a faster progress from Varel over in the direction of A after all the noise made over at C. They are going to be slowed down. Foxy9 is pretty low. The rotation has come through for DFM, so this is going to be a tough ask for Varel. Slowed down even further by some defensive util, but now Zuno going to try to push his way in, take a bit of space. LP on the other side of this as well. All the duels are lost. Every single one. And DFM, I mean, they're not looking too bad on this defensive half at all. That was a very nice rotate from them, and Varel are in a shambles.
Gue nonton aja, nggak ada yang gue dukung.
I don't know, good macro. I just felt as though DFM laid out all the traps in this round. They read the map correctly, the mid-round rotations as well, starting to adapt to probably what Varel intends to do. And it's just like, they're just right back on their horse, dude. This is so clean. That Odin was sitting on the A side as well, Kaide just waiting for the right moment. But now,
once again, Varel going to have to try and give it a crack this time. They've put together a couple of hero rifles. Foxy9 again, already tagged down to 32 HP. It's not going to be feeling too comfy with that one. And you've got a strong rotate coming across for DFM as well. Akame is having a blinder. That showstopper is not going to be enough. Just goes into nothing. And once again, DFM are tearing Varel apart. There is nothing for Varel. Bar that 1 or 2 kills now that LP have been able to put together. But 1v3, not an easy task. His position noted as well. If he gets a Kame, it may be a chance here. But he has to open the door back up if he wants to exit, and that is going to alert Sess to his presence. The creep forward from Kaide as well is a cheeky one. Sess just posted on the line, but this does come down to aim duels, and LP not good for them this time. He won such a clean duel against Akame. I thought maybe there was something in it, but 5-1. DFM are kind of crushing Varel, and that narrative of Varel's rise is going to start to come into question.
A little bit. Round to round, that's really what it is. I think they're starting to maybe find some difficulties working around this composition. I mean, you kind of sense that they do want to explode onto site. They are trying for quicker paced hits, but you don't really have like a flash initiator or something. The only flash you've got on the team, apart from maybe the Omen, would be Vise, the Arc Rose. So it's a little bit tricky. And as soon as, you know, Zexy pops in, the rest of the team, it's kind of, the trades are all kind of already prepared by DFM. And DFM right now are just pretty much managing every single bit of pressure pretty nicely, pretty neatly. That round 5 really was truly impressive.
Well, timeout time for Varel. Makes sense. 5-1 down. You want to be changing something up, and you know, it's interesting because I feel like in those opening couple of weeks, the games that we saw from them, they didn't really ever have to be the team that was down at a massive deficit. It felt for the most part like they were either competitive or actually front-running in a lot of those games. Now we get to see a different side from them. See whether or not maybe Varel, you know, are going to regress back into their shell in the same way that we had seen from them back in stage 1 and just sort of peter out into nothing. Or if maybe they can find a way to fix this issue. 5-1 down. Let's see what they can do as they head back into round number 7 here. Full contingent of weaponry, lots of util, lots of ultis to work with. Got to get it done here off the back of the timeout.
Okay, starting things out with a little bit of pressure initially. Immediately bringing rotations over.
Nice
1-2, but the op still in question.
Yeah, it just feels like DFM have all the answers. Every time Varel tried to go somewhere, there's an opening fight that DFM are winning. LP, this time will be able to drop a Kame, who has been a bit of a standout for DFM so far. So that will be a hole in the defense that Varel can look to exploit.
Really? Yeah, trying to commit off of that hole that you're talking about, but
I thought that would be a good paranoia, but Kaide goes down. Foxy9 starting to have a little bit of impact.
Oh, nice.
Zexy immediately traded back, but plant in, and this is about the best looking round Varel have had so far.
Welcome to my world.
Pit comes in as well.
A little wrap in from Cess, not going to work out there at all. May's going to try to find a gap in that pit, but so far hasn't spotted anything out. Here's the chance, and Zuna lands the headshot, so never mind that. May down and falls as well. It is finally another round on the board for Varel. Just a fair bit though. Saw the Steel Garden getting invested in the pit obviously as well. And again, you know, you see those same kind of awkward signs. May being able to find this opening pick, certainly a concern.
But either way, lovely bit of mid-round calling coming out from Varel, and that's also one of the things that allows them to take those wins, take those dubs against their opponents, staying fluid and flexible, forcing their opponents to, you know, quickly adapt on the fly as well. Sometimes they can't quite catch up onto it. So always going to be starting off with a bit of conditioning towards the A site now.
Kaide looking to see if he can hunt down this player that has slipped on through, but doesn't seem aware. Foxy9's going to get a freebie, and Zexy got one more elsewhere as well. The table's turning until Akame arrives for the double. Still, that's not going to be enough to equalize the numbers. 3-on-2 for the retake. That set of Seekers,
that's good.
Doesn't quite give away Cess's position. Post plan here for Varel, not looking to be too bad of a job. You'd say that it's really going to have to be Cess that has to find this retake.
Doesn't really have much to work off of, though. Just a bit of height.
Akame again! How does he do it every time? A double, and seems to be aware of where LP was. Says on the defuse, there's nothing that LP can do about it. He's going to try to cross, but Akame is there for the ace. And that is a fantastic way to turn another round around. DFM are on fire today.
Just ridiculous. Yeah, put that one up on the socials. We had Martine with an ace just last night. Well, for us in Korea, but this is lovely too.
Yeah, I was a bit worried. It was actually LP. I said the Seekers were looking for Cess. I thought that they didn't spot LP.
It did, yeah.
In the end, I think Akame had a bit of an idea roughly where he was in the end. So that's really been what I think paid dividends long term there.
But it's also how he took that 1v2 down by Tree. A 2v3 one out in full. This is incredible. And it's just going to keep going. Trades now found.
Yeah. Ruins control there for DFM, so I think overall you'd consider that to be a win at the start of the round. Yes, it's 1-for-1, but it's a lot of territory held by DFM for now that Varel are going to have to look to try to break back into.
Oh, look at that. The timing on the Trailblazer as well. They're just reading Varel like a book. Every little mid-round rotation, they're starting to catch on to it. Varel needs to still spend some utility to clear out the forward space.
Kaide needs a bit of help here, and he's going to get it. Akame arriving once again, looking for more. A little messy on the behalf of Kaide there, but he does reset the spray. It's all good in the end. 2 on 3, although Kaide is low, and the A site is going to be opened back on up.
It's okay. Nightfall's not going to hit anyone as well, though. That's going to be a little bit stinging for Varel. And take a look at who's behind.
Well, it does at least let you know that the site is clear, so you can get that quick plant. You're right, though, in saying that May has made a pretty big wrap. Kaide, I think, ideally is going to want to try and stay out of most of this if he can. Given that he's pretty low HP, leave the rest of the job to the rest of the lads. There's info. Cinder now spotted out in Tree Room. May's going to play a dangerous game by opening that door up, but just doubling up with Kaide. They're going to have to push their way in shortly. There's the dash across. Suna's position, a good one. In fact, a great one for a double. And now all of a sudden the round swings back in the favor of Varel. It looks like it might be over. May on the chase. Unable to find Zuna. That crossfire is going to be far too much to break. The spike ticking away too quickly. May gets on the fadeaway. Zuna as well. But the round will go the way of Varel. It's a costly round, although they did come in with a bit of a half buy, if anything, so I think they'll call that a big win.
For sure. I mean, still not too bad. Ultimately, DFM trying to bring the trades right back in this time around. Kaide with the flashes and everything all set up, but the firepower still instantly with Suna being able to hold post plant from an elevated angle, I think was something that that DFM weren't quite expecting.
Dia selalu buka watch party terus, jir.
Either way, though, already at least a bit of an advantage secured for the second half. DFM feeling comfortable, so they're taking some risks now. 3-1-1, they push out C, they see nothing.
Yeah. There we go, fast rotate across from DFM again.
Oh,
and Cess tucked in the corner, although the Prowler has now spotted him. He is really under pressure. That spam comes through from Foxy9. DFM
Mulai ini marah-marah ini.
Trying to move as quickly as they can back over to A, but they're just not going to get there in time to stop Varel from bursting their way in. Kaide dashing out the smoke, gets himself one, and Akame there to backfill. This can maybe start to get an awkward. I don't know how that showstopper's done nothing. Lad going through. Zexy finds the important frag onto Yatsika, but May might still be in position to clutch this one out. Nice jump peek.
Bisa clutch ini,
bang-abangan. So his position no longer a surprise for Varel. They'll deal with it accordingly. 6-4.
Kalau main suka pakai agent apa? Gue tergantung feel temen sih. Kalau misalnya gue pengen fun, gue nggak pernah apa ya? Kompe itu ya kalau emang.
A little bit weird, but at least did buy a bit more time for the rest of Varel to get into position, into space, and set themselves up effectively for a lot of these trades, which is how they start to overwhelm DFM once again.
Apa ada di ini?
Quick and pacey hits, and they keep up the rhythm of those punches, just like that guy.
Ada di Omen sama Clove.
Keep it up. I mean, this is why you cannot count this team out. Yeah, they had some worries in the first few portions. It's quite clear maybe the intention to take it a little slow, leave someone on alert. Maybe not the best thing.
Sama Cokot
Asu.
But
if they just continue to rotate around, make a lot of mid-round calls, or just play that fluid, it's a little bit difficult for DFM to catch up.
Jetraina
we get the DFM timeout here as well, recognizing
Sentinelnya,
this was
mau sleep
very
pick,
much kind of up in the air.
Cypher.
The half was looking good for Varel.
Cypher, Killjoy.
Good for DFM. Now starting to look a little bit better for Varel, I should say. And DFM are kind of looking at this and saying, well, we still have a chance of making this an 8-4 half, which would be a pretty dominant display.
Beli kopi gak, guys?
But Varel getting this back to 6-6, then anybody's game. And
gue masih kayak gue ngerasa kurang tidur,
Varel's pick of Lotus, I think you'd want to maximize what you can out of this first half. Quite a bit to play with, though, for DFM in the next couple of rounds. You do have Seekers coming up. You do have Showstopper coming up as well, probably for that next round. So you can expect to see maybe a little bit of an investment from them here as well. That
Ooh.
Is an early Omen TP. May missed the shot, and now the Blade Storm goes awry as well. This is all of a sudden a bit of a problem for DFM. Their site is lost. And Varel have kind of just walked their way in.
You just never see that happen from me.
Well, despite that, plan's going to go down.
Still available for Cess too.
Steel Garden wouldn't be a bad shout here on the retake. And indeed it will be invested. But there is a little bit of a pocket that's not quite going to be connected. It does push them back in there, and maybe that's what DFM wanted all along. Akame shot in the back of the head. Attempts to now try to salvage alongside Cess, who is alone. They lined up, but just doesn't have the stopping power, and Varel claim another.
What a decision from Varel. They avoid the Steel Garden. They had a little pocket, and although DFM tried their best to pull a pinch against that one position up by stairs, maybe the back of Mount as well, it still wasn't enough. The trades, the way that Varel, especially playing at close range, just overwhelmed DFM completely. The op in this situation as well, like May, I believe, did not get a single kill in this round, which certainly is a bit of a problem for DFM. But off to the next round now, and like you mentioned, those ults online.
Well, sometimes how it is, right? You miss that shot, that one opportunity that you had, and then the round gets so much more difficult as a result, because teams are able to scale into your, space, I guess. Foxy9, I think he's pretty keen to get this orb. He's one away from the pit. But the space isn't really there for it at the moment, so the entry from Varel might just be required instead. Seekers are out to try to hold against that. It's not going to slow them down for long. Showstopper in there, though, will at least delete Cinder. It is, a nice tap away from Yutsuka as well, but Zexy is doing all the work here for Varel. 3K in the round. The trouble is they still don't really have strong control of this side. Rotate's been fast from DFM. Plan's gone in. Low HP on both Zexy and LP. May and Kaide might just be able to clinch this half for DFM. Get them to a 7th. There's the one tag that was required onto LP, which leaves just Zexy. Strong position to play from, but has to isolate these duels well. And there's the first on for the ace. Kaide gets it done for DFM. Would have been a very nice time to pull out an ace there for Varel, but 7-5 will indeed be the scoreline, so DFM do hold on to something at the end of the half.
Oke, kita lihat.
Yeah, kind of reflective of the tale between the two
dengan
teams,
defendernya
which
seperti
is
apa.
the fact that it's kind of even right now. I mean, with the way that they have been meeting each other in a lot of some of these rotations, even in the hits, they're thriving in the chaos of it all. It's pretty impressive that DFM have managed to walk away with a very minimal lead at the end of this first half. Just being able to crack open the site. It's not always a stock standard DFM play, but because they have this double duelist, because they had that showstopper, they just let it rip. And Varel need to be aware of some of these potential plays, even though it's not always typical of DFM to make some of these plays, especially as you head over into the second half. Double duelist on attack now.
Des was talking about those viewing parties. It seems like the DFM one is filling up nicely, and they will be very impressed with what Akame brought to the table. Started incredibly strong those first sort of 3 or 4 rounds, really getting DFM out of the gates nicely and held it down for the majority of that half. So another solid performance from him, who I think had been probably the standout, at least on a consistent basis, from DFM so far in stage 2. Still going to need more from it out in the second half here. Varel, I think, are the kind of team that's not going to go down without a fight, particularly given how strong their start to the season has been. So I'm expecting a bit more from them here in the second half.
Certainly would want to start out this series off the stronger foot, against Varel's map pick, if you're able to rip that away from them. And judging by how Northern Lights was talking in that little pre-game interview with Victoria and Big Time, they're supposed to be feeling incredibly confident. They're supposed to have fixed, whatever flaws or mistakes they had against PaperX, KRX in the first 2 weeks. So I am going to stay excited with DFM now. Oh my gosh, walking to a potential trap. 4 players stacked up around A.
This is a big setup for Varel. Exactly where you want your forces at the moment, assuming DFM commit to this, although holding for the moment. Do you have Cess kind of just watching to see if there's going to be a push out of C or out of B, and hasn't seen anything yet? That might have alarm bells ringing for DFM. Door is going to be opened up. Bit of spam in there from Maze to try to clear out tree. There's nobody there.
Oh my gosh, Varel's not moving, not making a single peep.
And they might be rewarded for that patience as well, because I don't think DFM are moving too far either.
They're waiting for Cess perhaps to
Is the cancel?
Poke around.
It's the cancel.
Yep, says calling for the team to route back over, maybe overwhelm the site. They do have quite the number of flashes. Toxic screen as well, if you're specifically set, if you have it set up horizontally like this, it kind of is a little bit sus. So
habis DFM Feral.
It's a bit of a race here. Cess has been spotted out.
Tapi gua nggak ini.
Feels like the site should still go to DFM though, but is it going to be a fast flood from Varel?
Smoke's on through, but you're right, a little bit too little, too late. Zexy can't see anything, and eventually does get taken down. Time a huge factor, but so are the headshots. 10 seconds left will not matter if everyone is dead. Zuna with a huge pistol for Varel to keep them in the fight. And they take the second half pistol, so all's fair, 1-1.
You've got to love this, Jordan. It's not just the pistols, but the fact that this already more than likely signals to a tied scoreline because of the economy of the next round, just how evenly matched the teams are or can be. DFM might be quaking in their boots depending on how the rest of these rounds could go, and they really need to be, I don't know, a little bit more cautious and anticipating what Varel can bring in store as well. Sheer wall is an initial barrier of entry. Oh, in the chat.
Well, easy come, easy go, and Cinder also to grab one. Zuna will fall. It's not too big of a concern really for Varel if they lose just a single gun here.
Bagusnya tuh double smoker saling backup anjir. Bener anjir. Si Omennya cukup main di B, ya kan? Omen tuh main di B aja. Atau enggak di C, stuck di C.
Take your pick.
Jadi si Vipernya tuh nutupin wall B sama A. Kalau emang ada nyala. Terus si apa? Skillnya Vipernya itu yang bola yang ngasap juga buat nutup C. Kalau abis ditutup sama Omen.
Which again does mean it's not impossible for Varel to walk away with a bonus on the next round. I mean, at least DFM will now be wise to the fact that there could be a judge in the next round. Otherwise, it's all these rifles inspectors they have to watch out for again. Japanese or Korean players, but Korean players who don't play like a Korean team, you would think.
Nggak bikin
always a slight head scratcher, but incredibly entertaining to watch as well. DFM trying to pick up base.
DFM
under a bit of pressure here. He's going to try and get that flash out to try and get himself out, and clearly that has not worked. So DFM have the opener that they've been looking for in this bonus. Awkward for Cess.
It should be enough information that the eventual hit's going to see. LP can't do much though.
He can hide inside of this smoke and maybe do something if it fades favorably for him.
Yeah,
there's not really anywhere else for him to be. So DFM had all their guns trained in that direction. It was a gamble for sure.
Now the fight goes towards the back of spawn.
Foxy 9 down. Yatsuka putting together a pretty good map here as well.
Dua-duanya marah kah?
Zexy and Azuna thinking about what they want to be doing. Satchel forward is not really going to get much done. Kaide steals the ace, but DFM are happy anyway. It's another round and they maintain their lead for now.
Oh my ace.
Once more lovely stuff for the full Japanese squad. Not only was it kills, not only was it, you know, full recognition of seeing LP alone on the site. That means he must be buying time. They saw the paint shells as well. So they got that pinch. They pushed for more space towards the back of site, which ultimately weakens the potential of that retake. So if not for, I guess just Zexy flying in on that judge, there was nothing much else. And now you've got ults coming up online for DFM as well. They are rushing down on towards the A site, but Varel, let's see what they can do to catch up.
하나 바이트 레이즈 A Z도 있었어 얘들아 헤비 조심 끝났다 드롭공이야 레이즈 4대3에 침착하게 가 이거 우리 포압국 된다 벙커 얘들아 포압국 벙커 가면서 해보자 듯
확인하게.
얘들아 진짜 여기서 원픽하는 거 조심 한 명째 뒤에서
바로 가자.
내가
할게.
Official Korea.
네이들 기다.
야 어따 블락할게 다음 턴 확인 블락가운데 까까까까까 벙커 조심 나이스 총싸움 침착해
Banget, Cok. Waduh,
벙커 본다 얘 지금
begitu situation.
천천히 발스가 먼저 해줄게 그냥 벌릴게
Well, back into the 2-on-2 now. Cinder and LP have to try to put this one together. But DFM doubled up and Cess down onto LP. Means that it's just Cinder, and that's an easy cleanup again. DFM holding strong, and I think largely that's off the back of Yatsika now in the second half. He has really stepped up in these last couple of rounds.
Habis ini kalau kalah lagi Feral
Giving
timeout.
a real headache to Varel.
Absolutely.
It's good hold from Foxy9, has to
Info
be said.
jadwal nggak
But
ada stream lagi.
yeah,
Ini doang hari
I
ini.
mean, felt okay, but then Yatsika just sort of activates and gets this
Gimana
2K, and you're all of a
nggak
sudden
ada-
thinking
nggak
maybe
ada
the
yang
round's
buruk.
going to fall away.
Because you just
Dukung
don't
yang menang.
expect him to be right underneath the drop, right underneath
Pengen
heaven.
nonton
It's
Perek,
just
anjing.
a lot of these positions where Vero just spotted out DFM. They thought that taking down May would have been the initial roadblock, but there was so much more, and that's what's lovely about DFM now that they're putting Yatska back in on the secondary duelist role. A little bit of a swap with Kaide and Cess as well, who Cess used to be on smokes, but it's all working out pretty neatly for now. They're a little bit apprehensive about this toxic screen, but hearing the gunshots as well, knowing that it's weaker weapons against Varel, DFM just trying to build up a significant lead in this final half.
Smoke-nya bagus anjing.
Bit of space already being taken here by
Kosong satu itu.
DFM. Door's going to open up. Full pressure on the A side for Varel. They don't have a lot to defend it with.
Oh, this is clean. Yeah. They're just going to have to hope for the best. Maybe get a kill off a Zexy, Showstopper, something.
Oh,
Waduh.
Foxy9, how about him? He's always reliable. A nice 2K, eventually brought down by Kaide, but has got Varel back in this contest, at least for this round for now, until May turns back on and says, how about that? I'll do just as well as you did, or maybe even better. 2-on-3. Is there a weapon retrievable here for LP somewhere?
Oh, dia ngambil
A
vandal.
rifle.
Dapat
Otherwise, it's
dia
all in the
vandal
hands
kan?
of Cinder, and
Enggak anjing.
it's a tough
Langsung.
ask for Varel, I'd say, from here on out. Paranoia is going to go through. That was spotted, but doesn't matter. Kaide will fall anyway, and now May again is going to have to do a bit of that hard work. Yatsika will help out. And so a 1-2 punch here. It should be the double swing, and it is. May gets it done. DFM up to 10, up to double digits, and now it has to be argued they're doing this kind of easy on the attack.
Clean as ever, man. 1-2 punch.
Ajak main Valo lagi sekian.
And it's all down to, again, somehow how some of these trades go. And it kind of starts to show what the signs of concern for Varel could be, especially in that Teamcom segment earlier on as well. Foxy9 incredibly vocal. It's quite clear that they're trying to, even though this is a slight half by round, trying to work off of contact plays. As soon as Foxy9 finds a slight opening, he wants the whole team to jump in on with him. But sometimes that's where they kind of get a little bit lost in the sauce as well when DFM are this switched on. Yatsika is able to find trades, May's in position as well, and the whole team is just set up and prepared for it, even down to the 2v2 where Yatsika again plays right underneath Heaven. Cinder just did not anticipate it, which is a little bit too late to say now because you're looking at a potential beyond double-digit scoreline for DFM, but we'll see what this timeout can do for Varel.
Well, their first time out in the first half, I think, was not too bad. They picked up, I think, a 2-round combo after that. If I remember rightly, it might have actually only been one. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It was 5-1 score when they called the timeout. They picked up the 1 round, but then they did go on to win 4 of the next 5, I guess. So see if Varel can do that once again. It is pretty necessary at this point. If they can't turn it around here, they're not going to have time to turn it around at all. Do have quite a bit to work with, though. See if they play a bit more of an aggressive hold on this one. Pit over towards C is a very forward Pit.
And immediately from the shadows, it just pulls Foxy9 out of the pit.
Yeah, he could get back into it, but not going to be game for it. It does pull the rotation as well from Varel, and immediately sort of one of their trump cards has been negated immediately from DFM.
Precisely. This is incredible from DFM. One Omen TP play, they even picked up the orb off of it. Varel are shivering, I want to say. Just like a bit of presence, and they were afraid that it could have been a C flood. And that's why they now have 2 players on this position. Meanwhile, Akame is going scouting on towards A. If he finds that there's nothing here, he could call the whole team over.
There.
Of course, Toxic Screen still in his face, though, so a little bit tentative for both sides, but there's still quite a bit of time to work with. Back to a 2-1-2 defense for Varel.
Looks like it's going to be towards A that DFM want to end this round. They've got 40 seconds left on their way there.
If it's A, I'm a little bit concerned for DFM. Zexy, Showstopper, a lot of potential there.
May's going to be lurking in middle though, so we'll see what he's able to get up to as well. Wall starting to go back up. Cess thinking about it. Steel Garden is going to end up being ripped in to the A site. Zexy has got that Showstopper. So far, they're kind of waiting that out. He has to push to try to find this fight. Oh! From downtown. As they were trying to pivot their way back into B, that was May on the lurk that kind of called them through. Has to pick that spike up, has to try to get the plant. They're somehow recovering this round. Cess got the double, and now May alive. How is he alive in that fight? Sooner should get that every day of the week. It's now May alone against LP. He's got no idea where LP's coming from, and LP very clearly has an idea of where May's gone, so you'd think maybe LP gets this one done, but this could be a crushing blow for Varel if they end up losing it. The swing is in, but LP gets it done. Varel survived by the skin of their teeth.
And a sigh of relief for sure. My goodness. Down to the 1v1. Incredible Showstopper. It was blind. He didn't see anyone, but maybe a little glimpse, and that was enough.
Nonton semua enggak ini doang.
As they tried to pick up the pace in the site, feeling the pressure of time.
Soalnya gua
but May
pergi kan.
And it's just so close as well. Either way, though, this kind of lets you know what the mentality of both teams are. DFM, incredibly confident, pacey hits, even mid-round rotations as well off of Akame, but Varel are just as quick, still confident, looking for some of these fights. Now they start off Prowler outside of B, a lot of footsteps in C.
Storm already ripped, but I don't know how much impact he's going to have. Cess and Yasuka gone down early. Okay, Kaede gets a bit more room than he ought to have. Cinder falling. Zuna spotted as well. It's the 2-player setup waiting for him. They're missing everything, but it's all good.
Have the site now.
They do indeed.
LP though, maybe Steel Garden retake.
Patience on both sides, actually.
Yeah, no spike tap yet. Open lines then for Varel.
Kaede wants the early fight. LP with a bit of a jiggle there. Now it's going to be the Steel Garden that does get invested.
Oh, curious.
Varel looking to take that fight forward. Kaede will drop in that meanwhile. Very slow round out from both teams. I mean, it's such a stalemate at this point. There's so much time, though, for that plant. DFM going to end up rushing into LP. Give that round up. Varel on the comeback train.
Yep, it's very possible. I don't know how I feel about that one. For DFM, it feels like a bit of hesitation. The tap onto the spike, they weren't sure, they didn't have much utility left because of how quick they rushed in. And there was not much left to kind of secure the back lines out from back hall. Because of that, they maybe wanted to try and bait out the ult, but then they hesitated in the crossing outside of C. Because of that, just Varel pounds on the chance. But we go again. Maybe trying to catch a pinch onto Utsuna, who has been sending this very early Prowler now.
I wonder if May can find a timing here.
Not impossible.
Has kind of crept out. Oh, it's been spotted out now. Zuna aware. Viper Wall will go up, but how helpful is that if DFM are already out past it? Zuna under real pressure.
Yeah.
Enemies on all sides. Door broken open. May, of course, the one to find the kill, and now B site has been swarmed by DFM. It's a good case of timing that's gotten them in here. Now they need to deal with this post plant. Foxy9 catches Cess as he tries to cross. The Seekers not doing too much, and remember, DFM have a weaponry disadvantage here. The rifles noted. Satchel forward just boops them a little bit, but Yatsuka gets the double anyway, and now ripping the Showstopper is going to send Varel scurrying back away. This retake seems doomed. Foxy9 has gone for a big flank. It's cost a lot of time. I'm not sure it's going to be worth it in the end. Akame is watching for it, and Even a Sheriff here for Cinder is not going to be enough to get you back in the round. There's just no time, surely. Yatsuka waiting patiently. No knife! Oh my word, what am I watching?
Oh my god. I thought he had a knife headshot. Okay, loses a rifle. That's inconsequential. DFM were on a half buy. They were on an eco, actually. It was just a Sheriff that he had to begin with. But look at how they found that pinch to begin this round. That early Prowler becomes a bit of a mistake for Varel. They meant to use it to try to suss out early presence, but because it didn't latch onto anyone, just being able to sneak in tough retake
Bang,
put
sama
together as
Beben,
well,
enggak,
everyone
aku
on
sendiri,
separate
bentar.
angles.
Basecamp gua
Not
biasa lagi.
exactly well coordinated. This is awesome. And now with broken economy, DFM look poised to take map point.
My blind is dead.
DFM taking some space outside of C. Similar setup we've seen from them a couple of times now. 100% right though, Varel really scraping the bottom of the barrel with this fight as well. Boombot's going to go forward. May again with another entry, doing a great job in this second half. Somehow, Cinder's able to get out of there alive. It's all a bit messy as he gets involved for a double. No, this is getting a little bit too bad for me. How does he get 3? He should be dead. And Foxy9 won as well. Varel are not done yet.
Anjir.
This game continues to just get messier and messier. And now Cess is alone. DFM, have they fumbled?
Rifty Gaming kah?
I mean, and how important is that going to end up being? Does Varel go on to potentially sweep the map from here? We'll have to wait and see, but
Tuh kan?
my God, does it give them a bit more of a chance?
It definitely is. Look at this. Altor being collected upon as well. High low.
Sekarang nggak nyala. Oh,
And
udah.
Cess is more than likely to save. Spike's gone, and I don't even know
Satu,
if
dua.
he has 1v1. He tends not to.
OT kah? Bisa OT kah?
Brought back.
Cinder is getting away with murder in that round.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, again, DFM are playing a lot quicker than they normally do, I would think, but
Jing, aimnya, Cok.
it feels as though in some of these chaotic moments as well, they start to hesitate and they can't quite catch on. No one's really like just pushing into sight that much confidently. They tried to go for that little CS crouch spray, take Cinder down mid TP, but Cinder just gets through and has every single kill possible with a bandit. The whole team picked up rifles off of DFM's corpses because of that one play.
Yeah, Varel are back and back in a big way. It is
and
concerning.
DFM are broke.
DFM are also calling that tack timeout to figure out what do they do here. I mean, you can save this round, play 11-11, and see if you can win out from there, but it really does feel like DFM have missed a huge opportunity to close this map out.
You gotta imagine that can be kind of crushing, mentally. Like,
well, you don't want it to be a recurring thing, knowing obviously what happened against Paper X. I mean, to be fair, they were the ones making the comeback there, but they had their own chances at trying to close that out, weren't able to do so. You can't keep losing these close maps. It's not over yet, that's for sure. Yatsuka has been given a hero rifle. Is DFM going to see if they can put anything together behind that?
Viper ke ujung sini, dia pasang wall gini. Tadi dia habis naruh bola di awal.
To really speak of maybe Cess on the steel card, but even that's quite
nggak jelas anjing, Basecamp monyet.
Immediately though, okay, Yatsuka crossing the toxic screen for the first time.
Halo.
So look at this, 3 players. Uh-oh.
Yatsuka down, that's your chance in the round. Probably done as DFM. Varel pretty aware as well.
Nice backup, bro.
Come flooding across to try and deal with this push in ruins, and they have the pieces that they need to do so. Good shot in from May, but it's not really enough to win the round. One more to find. Nakami's been spotted out by that Prowler. The Sheriff doing some damage. Varel don't get through it cleanly, but they do get through the round, and they do equalize at 11 apiece.
Baru.
And at this point, it's anybody's map.
It really is. There's always a chance. But this is, you have to admit, incredibly impressive from Varel. They're just so ready to scrap. Instant contact from Foxy9. They start to peek out, but because weaker weaponry in the hands of DFM now, DFM sneaks back and looks to hold angles instead. And Varel just rushed in for the trades. Everyone's prepared. Still with the ult online too. And you really have to consider, but it feels like Yatsuka's gonna just dive in past toxic screen again. No, it's Rumble this time. Up in the hands of Zexy.
Aduh. Face as well. That's going to push him away. This has gotten a bit awkward for Varel. They were caught in transition, and Akame will punish.
Ada ulti santai.
It's a big weapon and showstopper gone now. Varel starting to
Bisa
put more
nge-delay ultinya.
reinforcements towards the A site. DFM has an option to rotate if they so choose.
Nggak ngetim lagi, nggak
Varel
tahu
are in fact
Ardan.
playing quite far up front as well, though, which has me a little bit worried. I mean, their economy's still decent, but with that Nightfall in hand, like, do you want to use it early?
Foxy9 retrieving that off, showing him how it's done. Kaide goes down. We're back to 4-on-4, and Zuna is clearing the space back out.
Oh, interesting.
We will get caught by that Steel Garden. Still got Foxy9 though in tow,
Padinya nggak
but
ulti, Cok.
dealt with. And May finding those important entries, and Yasuka there to follow up as well.
Nah, gitu
Zuna
dong.
is going to rip the Nightfall. They're going to try to go for this retake. 2-on-3. Got Akame and Cess at about half HP or less. This is still doable for Varel. Seekers giving away Zuna's position. May survives. That might be a chance gone begging as far as Varel are concerned. 1v1
situation.
LP knows where Akame is, but doesn't
Bawah
find
lu,
him.
Mas.
And the time,
Wah!
enough there for Akame to find the peak. It is DFM that get to 12 first.
The entire map going the distance, and that's
Sumpah
what
ini
you
anjing kalau
have to
OT
love
sih.
at the end
Ayo
of the
bisa
day, but
DFM.
my God, is it close. Starts off with all these initial fights, but towards the end, like past the mid-round, towards the end phase of it, you start to see Varel begin to overheat. Foxy9 wants to take the fight alone up by Heaven.
Frontier udah keluar belum
Someone
ya?
else gets
Nanti
caught
kita
out
cek
as well. There's no eventual trade, and even though that Nightfall does get sent in and it does connect, there's no one close enough to capitalize off of it. Still having ults though, and there's still a chance for this to go into overtime.
Yep. Another pit ripped there by Varel, by the way, over towards C. This time DFM won't get it done. Zuna catches May on the entry. And that pit is providing so much presence that surely you can start to rotate off of C at this point. He's going to be reinforced. Sunder waiting with that paranoia, although room control still goes the way of DFM. 4v5 to try to close this round out, close this map out. Zexy doesn't quite manage to land with the showstopper. Yatsuka punishing. We're back to a 4-on-4, which is now feeling much more doable for DFM, particularly if there's a pivot into B on offer here. Ping's going down in that direction.
Just looking around the smoke, they're imagining that the rotations probably are already...
I think they're thinking about going B.
That's right.
Dob's gone in to try to scout it out. Akame sees nobody. Port in straight away. DFM, they're going to get a fast plan here. Varel are going to be caught in transition. They still have to make a rotate across some time ticking against them.
Just in position. Oh, here's the door. Does not stand up to the task.
Cinder getting that kill, very important.
I'll take it.
A little for Varel, and DFM don't look too comfortable in this post plant. You've got multiple angles to watch and maybe not enough players to do it with. Foxy9 falling. Akame again looking to be the hero. Yatsuka up behind.
Woo!
We'll get it done. DFM 13-11. It was a hard-fought win, certainly, and Varel did look like they were going to bring it back, but maybe today is the day that Varel's streak ends. DFM are certainly hoping so. They get a win on Varel's map.
It might have been an historic win against T1 last week, but not today. DFM, like I mentioned, backs against the wall, and they come in with this whole new form. They're starting to rush into sites. Everyone's confident going for trades.
Coba.
You still see some moments of hesitation, but
Ada Minecraft sore besok.
Yatsuka and Akame definitely stepped up.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think across the board, DFM looked like they were just a step ahead in a lot of cases there against Varel. Varel maybe a little bit disappointed by that. We obviously had the question about Lotus being the first time that it got picked this season. Haven't actually seen it so far. Maybe that'll be a point of contention potentially on the desk, but Varel have a lot of thinking to do after that one.
5 giga, oke ntar aja. Lagi
It
streaming.
was always going to be one of those kinds of matches that felt a little 50-50, but not sure that Varel will be feeling too pleased of losing their own map pick. I think that's where things really do start to take a little bit of a nosedive, because now you've got a real uphill battle to come back into this series and maintain this little streak that you've started to put together. I think a lot of people are behind Varel and excited to be watching them play, but if they drop to DFM, then it's sort of like going back to square one.
Yeah, you hope that's not going to happen. They definitely do need to take this little break between the maps to cool off, though. Definitely getting overheated in some of these positions as well, but either way, it's been pretty impressive from both sides. Cinder getting his own little moment, Akame with the ace as well. Whatever it is, though, onto a set on the next one, and you really do have to scratch your heads a bit. We're going to toss it back over onto the lovely desk.
We are lovely, but not as lovely as the Lotus from these two Japanese teams. That was close. DFM, though, we can see why they were so confident going into today's match against Feral.
100%, but what is more iconic than Varel losing 11-13 in all 24 rounds? This is like their specialty. As you would say, Morgan, this is their Super Bowl.
Exactly. That's how I would describe it. This does feel a little bit classic Varel, where they just can't get it done in the final moments. But this game was neck and neck the whole way through. You see 12 first kills apiece, so Varel really have nothing to blame but themselves for not getting this game done. We saw, as the rounds break down, we saw 1v1s, we saw all sorts of different rounds that could have gone their way. So I do think they'll be feeling like this might be the Varel of old. I think they could be kicking themselves in that back room, knowing that they had everything they needed to get their own map pick, but it does go the way here of DFM.
Definitely. And Yatsuka, we were talking about him before this match started, with him expanding his roles into the duelist role.
Guys,
that really paid off.
100%. I think I've been enjoying watching TFM be flexible with their roles, and it's something we talked about early on with these new roster changes for DFM at the time, with Force coming in and the ex-Riddle Order boys. The thing that used to really impress me about that roster is players like Haide and Yatsuka being flexible across roles, and I think finally you're seeing that transition to a tier 1 level where you're seeing these individual players have pretty stable performances, even though they're transitioning role to role across different maps. And I think that that's a big strength of these players playing in tier 2 previously. There was a little bit of a grading kind of period as they went into tier 1 to be able to have that consistent level of performance. But I really start to think that now they're actually making that work at a higher level.
Yeah, definitely. And what's really interesting, of course, is in Pacific, we see people, you know, winning their ecos. But the formula, well, first of all, we got to talk about this. At the beginning of today, these watch parties looks very different. It was
seru banget Jir watch party kayak gitu.
But then,
I love this guy.
Oh my god.
We got Elephant Man.
A new challenger has emerged.
We thought Data was good. Yeah, DFM was good, but man, I don't know what this guy is.
I love the Varel fan base so much. Like, even in the arena, you hear every time there's a Varel game, it's the loudest that the crowd are. It's fantastic. So I think they got to do a bounce back. They got to do it for Elephant Man. You can't leave him hanging here.
Yeah,
A winner for Elephant Man.
Elephant Man. I don't know who he is. I don't even think that's their mascot, but he is. I think today might be the mark of the first day. Love their creativity, and speaking of creativity, you saw a little bit of that coming through today, especially during this bonus round.
Yeah, we talked about this being the first Lotus that's been played so far this stage. Love this bonus round for DFM. Double satchel on in for Yatsuka with the Paranoia to push Foxy back. Gives them that opening pick on a round where they don't have the best weaponry to work with. And then the dog through the middle of the map into the A stack works out perfectly there to win DFM that bonus round.
Against Viper as well, it's so good when you're able to be aggro, but we do see the Viper coming to play here. This is round 4, the round after. So Varel, you see they're not content with going down without a fight here. This is a low buy round, but they forced up Stingers. That Viper wall cutting across C, they held onto it so that they could use it for this set piece. This is really nice. We almost always see the same walls towards A, but they came in, mixed it up with this, and managed to steal this round away.
Yeah, it helps you disrupt that retake, and a lot of the time you're bringing in some closer range weaponry. So if you're going to cut the site in half with the Viper wall, you can play up close with a Stinger or something like that. It helps you be able to overcome a weapon disadvantage up against a DFM that's just won that bonus round. It's crazy how many
Oh
times.
iya anjing, lupa cok, ini copyright. Nah, kita start. Kita copyright Jir. Coba, apakah Neo Frontier udah keluar? Nanti abang beli itu ya. Tolong Ajri nanti. Ajri nggak nonton ya? Tolong iniin BP saya. Saya butuh radian point. Oh, udah keluar 6.700, bisa nih. Waduh. Kayaknya abang beli semua. Hihi. Kayak gue beli semua. Kayak gue beli semuanya dah. Run it back. Sampai run it back ntar gue beli, guys. Harganya 9.300. Tapi kayaknya gue coba Valorant bisa ngadain kayak tes skin gitu loh. Pandalnya bagus. Gue pengennya base-nya kayak gini. Base-nya kayak gini tapi suaranya finishernya beda, guys. Finisher. Sound effect-nya. Halo. Refresh, guys. Ngele anjing. Gangguan monyet. Ini si Kanjut ngajakin gua palo. Dia bilang gua PCT anjir. Ngelek. Sorry Ega Gaming. Guys, ini kan gue dikasih ini apa? Dikasih pai susu sama aceng tuh baik banget ya. Nah, tapi gue nggak tahu basinya berapa lama. Berapa lama pai susu Bali bertahan? 5-7 hari disuruh uang. Nggak bisa, guys. Nggak bisa gue minum itu. Nggak bisa gue minum. Nggak bisa gue makan. Udah seminggu lebih anjing.
So, what are the chances? What do you reckon? You must be feeling pretty confident right now.
Yeah, especially, you know, because I'm speaking to
apakah
my
2-0, guys?
I mean, it's the main thing that Barrel hasn't
di rumah ini
played
nggak ada kulkas, Ega.
all year round. The last time they actually played Ascent with this team, with this roster, was way back Ascension last year when they were still called SLT Songnam. So it's going to be quite curious, but looking at the composition Deadlock brought in, you feel like it's not impossible. Although, little pixel angles,
nice
and it's quick trades as well.
Yeah, good swing back in there from Yatsuka, so get that 4-on-4 confirmed. Cage gonna disappear. The cam as well will be shot down.
Langsung.
Sheriff picked up too, so a little bit of a win there for DFM. Claim some space, get some
Deadlock
upgrades
to
cost a little bit of HP for Kaede and Yatsuka, but overall, not too bad.
Lihat cam sofa. Nah,
Catwalk, the Deadlock wall's already
makasih
propped
ya,
up as
Celu.
well, so Varel's gonna be kind of locked down at this position for a bit more time. Oh, just nice.
Sebenarnya jadi gini. Pai susunya dia ngirim di tanggal 18. Ya kan? Dikirim tuh.
Oftentimes going to be a little bit
Tanggal 18
risky.
dikirim.
All it takes is for one of these duos to not
Abis
quite
itu
have the success on the entry, and then all of a sudden
nyampe-nya tuh pas
you know, maybe a 3-on-2 post plan or something like that.
Pas Aceh.
Wah,
itu pengirimannya udah lebih dari seminggu anjir.
Starting to run out of bullets, and a big swing in from Yatsuka with that Sheriff. It's all
nice banget, Cok.
As Varel will claim the first pistol of the map. And of course it's Foxy9.
Of course. The stats just continue to build up. So many of these times, these rounds. I mean, he's not necessarily the one getting first kills, but multi-kills. Almost always. It's always either in the doubles or the triples, as you would say. But it's just so impressive. And
tapi basic trapnya basic banget dia taruh anjir line up-nya. Line up basic deadlock banget.
Sonic sensors were already set up on site, which means Yatsuka had to take a little bit of time. Kaide had to take the fall.
Oh, pindah di tree sekarang.
Now Sonic sensors get placed. Well, it's set further apart.
Kita lihat Akame-nya apakah bisa ngancurin.
And DFM, of course, on this pistol will have quite a bit of legwork to do. B main already being taken by Varel as well, and they're going to continue to push out.
Kita ditutup. Pas banget.
Falling. Nice push from Zexy.
Look at this.
Tawan itu.
Wants to get amongst it. That's awkward.
Come on. That's not Ascension Zexy. Zexy was hitting loads of shots when he was
aduh, Belgi banget di tontonin mas.
Not peek that at this point. Such an advantageous tool for him.
Alhamdulillah restream. Yes. Kok Kroko, lu datang ke Paris kalah tim lu. Nyangkut.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Bisa lari lah.
I mean, Sez has got himself one. So a little bit of damage done. There's a second. Not too costly of a round for Varel, but at least DFM can say they got something out of it. The real fun begins now, though, as we head into round number 3, and we'll see how Varel do negotiate their bonus. Have to reinvest a couple of weapons.
Indubitably.
Makanya.
But really,
udah belanja apa aja Kuroko? Udah di scam nggak? Di sana ada scammer nggak? Pas lu kayak lagi ke menara Eiffel dekat-dekat situ, kan ada tuh. Lu tahu kan tipe-tipe orang scammer kayak apa? Yang kayak nawarin gelang gitu-gitu banyak tuh. Nggak bau, nggak jamuran, makan aja selagi bisa. Oke, Bi. Kalau ada kayak polkadot, pola-pola hitam-hitamnya itu di pai susunya gimana? Dimakan jangan? Kayak baunya harumnya, baunya masih enak. Udah dicopet belum? Nah kalau copet gue kurang tahu. Kebanyakan setahu gue copet tuh ada di UK. Di Eropa emang ada. Tapi yang kalau di jalanan tuh ada di UK. Tapi kalau di Eropa kalau nggak salah di tempat-tempat stasiun kereta gitu deh setahu gue ya.
Look at this now from Kaide too.
Look at this from Akame once again getting involved early on in the piece for DFM.
Oh my god, and then they have a free
minta ya masa nggak dikasih? Sumpah gue pengen jersinya cok. Berapa Kur? Kalau dirupiahin berapa? Satu nyampe nggak satu gitu? Atau 800.000 atau 900?
The Cypher util as well.
Masih gue banyak copet.
It sort of feels like every corner you go around there's something that you have to get rid of. But maybe not the case. Foxy9 though has now built up that neural theft, and he says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Info given. Akame at the back of sight here in the boat shed, dealt with, and Foxy9 on for the ace. He knows where Yatsuka's coming from. He's a sliver of HP, and he won't get it. Unbelievable. How's he got past that? Oh, how's Yatsuka going to win this round? You're kidding me. How's he won that round? That's impossible.
Oh my god. Hero plays on top of hero plays. Let's put that on the tape again.
Ya gue pengen punya jersey Vitality 1 anjir. Udah pulang belum berarti sekarang? Atau belum pulang? Kalau belum pulang gue pengen ngechat Nail minta ambilin satu, gue bayar. Gue tahun ini sedang ngumpulan, pengen coba kayak punya jersey sebulan satu lah, apapun itu. Kalau basket enggak.
Anyway, what a way to pick up the first round there for DFM. They'll be feeling, I'm sure, pretty good. Let's hear from them.
Yang kuning.
最後 B がいいなこれ。最後 B ね。一回センサー吐かそう。ダメしていくね。触れるよ。
Oi.
センサー見るセンサー見る。
Anjing, komsnya ini banget.
A 面 O 面からちょっとの。あ、疲れた。
Gila. Bang Oons. Bang Oons semua. Jersey mancing. Gue tetap tanggal 2 baliknya. Besok ketemu venue kayaknya. Kabar ya, gue chat Nail.
A little bit too much to bear now, and unless they can find opening picks closer out towards B side, which is where they're positioned right now, it feels like this round could be done. Foxy9 is just so darn good at holding the angles too.
Yeah. Well, we thought the last round was done as well.
Gue mau jir punya
chickens
satu.
just yet. It's going to be a tough one for
Mau.
DFM, especially now that they've been smoked off that trip in mid. It's going to stop Cess from pushing his way up in middle. Just kind of hoping for a mistake out from Varel here.
Vitality
20
Valor.
seconds on the clock.
Enggak, ini
They're not
masalah
going to be moving anywhere.
MLBB
It might just end
jir.
up being the save.
Kalau
for DFM, so they
emang
can
global
power
ada
the next
kur
round.
kayak Valo-nya.
Probably just what it's gonna
Terus
be.
game sebelah tuh, game FPS sebelah.
Kind of neat as well, just
Emang
allow
ada?
both teams to cool off a bit. They tried to pick up the pace, tried to catch a pinch on towards LP, which is similar to their approach from what we saw in Lotus, sensing an early prowler outside of B pillar then. But this time around, there was a bit more support. There was a shotgun too, and well, DFM will have to sit down for a moment.
Ada mau, abang.
Still though, okay. I mean that's
Jersinya
the
dengan harga segitu, iya.
entire round for both sides. Just
Enggak, maksudnya kan itu kan venue apa yang didatengin Kuroko, maksudnya apakah dengan dia datang ke acara itu cuman MLBB doang yang ada gitu. Kan gue nggak tahu, makanya gue nanya dulu ke ini, ke Kuro.
We'll just continue going forward for now. Early presence as always, and Varel playing a little bit more defensive this time. Just relying on the camera to spot out information by B main.
A little bit of an easier entry into this B side, at least into B main for DFM this round, but the side itself is going to be another question. Foxy9 on the other side of this engagement, usually pretty sharp. May's going to go right past him, and Yatsika will use him as a decoy. It's a 1-for-1, and that is enough for DFM to get into the site.
Tiga side.
With that drone.
Kemarin ada buat tim lain juga. Enggak, maksudnya Vitality jualnya satu, kayak misalnya satu genre doang gitu, misalnya MLBB ya. Kena tuh.
And now Yatsika under
ya, timing anjing, dia ngangkat.
People shut him down. Starting to get a bit messy here for DFM. Still kind of waiting for Cess to choose his timing, and Maze picked up a crucial double. That creep coming on through. Cess needs to hurry up and help him out. He does. 1v1 now. And Zexy back on out. Swings on the line, pops a bunch of HP. Taps that defuse. Cess just happy to be getting the information there that he's not tapping, not holding, and he's really just playing the timing game so nicely. You don't even have to fight. If your name is Cess, you're just going to win the round anyway. DFM claim one. A messy, chaotic round. But a round is a round as far as DFM are concerned.
I mean, it was always a little bit tricky on the attacking side.
Harga jersey masing-masing timnya beda-beda. Beda dong. Enggak semua top. Beda-beda guys, beda-beda.
Against Foxy9 because of a bucky play by Hatsuka, but as the Hunter Street gets ripped, it's completely countered by Annihilation. They try to pick up the pace, but down to the 1v1, and Cess is the one who clutches it out.
Misalnya stoknya, let's say 60 euro gitu. 60 stok gitu. Misalnya segitu.
Varel though.
Abis itu kalau tiap tim tuh biasanya naik kayak 2 sampai 10 euro lah. Tergantung sponsor sih sebenarnya.
And that's a big line to take and hold as well. DFM, not too many options. They're all stuck in isolated positions too. I kind of just want to see them go down bottom mid instead, but also not a bad shot to apply a bit more pressure onto.
Ya lu cek aja kayak dari tim ini kan, tim lokal yang di sini harganya beda-beda kan, yang sportnya. Ini juga pasti kayak PRX berapa dolar, TFM berapa, T1 berapa gitu.
All this is taking a bit of time though, and at some point DFM will have to pick a side. They're split 2-2.
Cess can port over.
Exactly, not the, well, okay.
Maybe Cess ports back over, you leave May on the lurk. It does look like it's going to have to be a B hit. They're going to try and sell a bit of a fake, and that's not too bad. A entry. And now the TP over towards B, but the cage up, and it's looking a little bit too easy right now for that hole.
Nice banget, Zexy.
Easy shot, and even with that TP over, Cess has been unable to have an impact on this round. So Varel were well aware of the possibilities. So they answer them nicely, 4-2. They maintain the lead.
Sablo nickname di jersey lu aja kemarin gue lihat.
Especially holding those numbers as well. Okay, and this is just going to continue to go that distance too. DFM perhaps economy not too great for the next one.
Gue lebih pengen polosan sih kalau
I
kayak.
guess I don't mind seeing them attempt the fake. It's just the fact that
Polosan.
Varel are
kayak ada
so
jersey
ready.
kayak
That shot that Suna took,
let's say custom nickname atau namanya Nael gitu.
And they want to stay afloat for this series. They have a chance to lock in playoffs with these wins. They don't want to leave it to chance. They don't want to leave it to, having to play against Paper Rex in that final game, final week. So this truly is, well, to kind of what Big Time was saying, their Super Bowl.
Gue lagi demen perjersian kayak, gue aja lagi pengen beli jersey MU tuh. Gue bingung nih. Kan kalau di bola kan kemarin tuh gue live TikTok jam berapa, jam 2 pagi. Itu lagi ngomongin jersey bola kayak apa namanya? Como 2627 itu bagus banget home-nya. Itu gila itu. Kasih tahu gue aja lu mau nitip jersey tim lain. Chat gue aja Kur di IG atau di TikTok lah. Di IG sih, gue lebih aktif di IG. Kayak ada tim apa aja sih?
Kind of feels like that. I mean, just basic composition theory.
Gue nggak tahu. EWC tuh game-gamenya apa aja nih? Follow nggak sih?
Definitely want more of a lead on this defense side, but DFM, all pistols, Blade Storm just to rush
€60 berarti berapa ya? $1 ya?
Can get the job done, but Zexy on a line like this, you don't imagine that he's going to be making too many mistakes. That's a missed shot.
Ya, standar jersey replika guys.
With the spam in, slowing down the progress of DFM, so there'll be no entry allowed.
Kalau yang Nick pasti kayak 1,4.
Might get himself one more kill here. He's actually going to allow Zexy to go past. See if he can find a couple.
Ya ampun.
He's just going to have to take this kill and then see what he can do.
Itu sih bro.
Got the headshot onto Suna as well, I think, but was never going to win the round. 5-2, Varel off to a good start on Ascent.
Yeah, he definitely did. But like you said,
bentar. Gue pengen ngecek Wikipedia.
Varel, a lot of big guns being brought into future
gini.
rounds as well. Nothing lost, truly.
Cek begini ya.
It's a bit of a throwaway. It definitely gets Alpha Guy going.
Hari ini kan.
We'll kind of take a look at how the next round comes up, because this is what that timeout was intended for, but this is incredibly just instantly shut down.
Yeah, I mean, Zexy is a little bit unleashed at the moment.
Besok gue nonton Perek.
31.
Aduh, besok ada Perek guys, gimana dong?
Save. There's no plan.
On secret?
You're never planning for a 3v5, so just in the matter of seconds, DFM's round has kind of gone kaput. And for those of you that don't speak German, that means broken.
Oh, kaput.
Barca away. Terlalu merah biru. Bang Ciling, aku baru ngitung follow tim FL dari mana? Dari Jepang. Jersey Argen yang away kemarin juga cakep. Iya, gue udah beli. Bagus itu. Gue tidak support Argen, tapi gue suka jersinya aja, jadi ya. DFM tuh Korea, ini siapa namanya?
Trying to hold on to their rifles for like a full 50 seconds, a full minute.
Nanti ada Zeta sama FS. Menurut gue Zeta
of tasks.
Aduh, Zeta ya.
But also kind of necessary now. Okay, what are we doing?
30 seconds left.
I'm just going to give Zexy a bit of target practice, but this time he's missed it, and so Kaido's kind of opened a little bit of an avenue up into this B side. If one more duel goes the way of DFM,
tapi gue nggak tahu itu udah dijual di Indo belum ya?
Suna gets a little bit of a helping hand there from a few missed shots of Cess, but still, plan's gone down, 1v2, this is winnable, and
gue suka kayak
Akame is the guy that was getting stuff done on map 1. Let's see if he can do it again here. Pre-fire into his position, he's now tagged up even further, and doesn't really have anywhere to go, has to try and take the fight. Suna will get it done.
Sweden tuh jersinya kuning kan?
DFM are really struggling to put rounds on the board right now.
Iya, kuning tuh anjir bagus.
I have to salute that though.
Sweden tuh bagus.
I mean, yeah, the scoreline, the money situation sucks. Let's be honest, but holy hell. A 3v5 turned into a 2v3, and then eventually just down to that little 1v2. Not impossible for Akame, but because he had low HP, was Slinked back into position by Lane.
2-0 FS win.
An
Kita lihat ya.
opportunity to
Jersey
reposition.
PSG.
Didn't expect.
Mirip lah ya, mirip Barca
Either
nggak
way,
sih?
though, impressive from Kaide to be able to pick up 3 on his own. Let's see more of that, right? Because that's what their composition is intended for as well. If he's going to be lurking outside of B main, he needs to create some or feign some presence in his positioning. But what is this now? Mid to B.
Yeah, up and over the
Nice
top.
banget,
Once again, Zexy is the player to provide the opener for
Ya
Farrell.
mati, Cok.
There is still some work being done though. Kaide's been pretty decent on these entries, but
Ya,
Zuna
mama
and
mulai
LP
tuh.
holding
Di-
strong on B. Again, no real success for DFM. There's
Tahan dulu,
moments
Bang Poxy.
where you think maybe the round might still slip their
Biarin
direction,
masuk.
but
Nah, Sopai
Farrell
dapat
have
tuh.
been really good at recovering
kan.
them. Spike's now been dropped and
Dah.
Kaide is isolated alone. There's multiple players honed in on his position as well.
Oh my god. No, he can't get away.
Dia tahu anjing.
Darts will tag him in the back as well. And that's
Jersey
the lead
pun
secured already.
karena
for
udah
Farrell.
punya Argen deh, kayak nggak ngambil lagi deh
It's all these
birunya.
big
Biru
weapons
udah cuma
starting to
satu
become
kayak.
a little bit too
Gue mainnya 1 ton 1,
readable.
tapi biru MU bagus
Probably
sih.
attempt to trying to bypass some of the lines.
Boleh lah,
Maybe it's a set play that
biru
they
MU.
practice in scrims, but
Soalnya kan tim kan.
Farrell are just
Klub.
prepared for it. Zexy continuously repositioning around. This time around we had LP with his deadlock
Apakah map
utility
3?
as well over on the B site.
I do just want to point out that it was the defensive half
lihat
that
map defender ya.
DFM came back.
Map 3 sih ini, map 3 sih.
They
Bobo
got
21.
a 8-4 first half, so I think that would probably be the score that I'd be looking for here for DFM. If they can get to 4, I think they can still sort of see if they can salvage something out of this. But yeah, they do need to get in and they do need to get some rounds pretty damn
Nice
quick.
banget.
Foxy 9 may as well have denied them another. They are just getting blasted at the moment on the attack. They are not having any success. 2 more rounds basically in the half after this one. Essentially going to have to go to DFM, otherwise
Ya.
I think we're going to be starting
Nah,
the curtain
Bang
call
Klaus.
for Ascent.
Feels like it.
Agak nyesel.
See how the
Agak
last
nyesel.
couple rounds can
Gue
bring
pernah
this one
punya
to
jersey
save, so
Jepun yang
write
api.
that one off, but
Tahun
the scoreline
98 aku
again.
1,5.
5 rounds in a row. Varel are
Kalau
starting
menurut
to
gue kayak
reinforce a lot of
apa ya,
different
daripada
positions, but this
jersey
one
kayak lu jual.
a little bit inexcusable.
Nggak usah
Like
sih,
they
kata
just
gue tuh
rushed
quality
in, and
bagus
it was
menurut
only
gua.
Foxy initially on site, and he's still able again to be able to put up these big numbers. If DFM wants to rush in, if DFM wants to be able to pull off plays like this, they need to layer more utility. They need to work the map as well. What we're seeing is just, just May, Yatska just kind of taking dry contact, maybe relying on the slide a little bit too much, but it's clearly not working out.
makasih, Bari.
So we're back to a bit more defaultish holds. They managed to evade Zexy for now, and then the options open up.
Well, a little bit of a change up here for DFM. They've been trying to batter down the door on B a few times, and it hasn't been too successful. So,
Okay.
gonna try something a little bit slower here. Take some space outside A main.
A little bit more like it too. Kaide working against the drone, but look at how Zexy's repositioned straight into the corner. It's a bit of an off angle. He can always, no, he can't. He's already dashed away. But Kaide is maintaining relative distance. Meanwhile, his entire team, DFM, just trying to set up, waiting for that deadlock wall to go down before they eventually rush into A. A main's starting to get taken.
1-2.
Zexy is going to get another one. I mean, how many openers has Zexy had in this half? I think it's every single round, basically. Foxy 9 this time, no success for him,
Nice
but
banget,
LP just holds down the trigger
Yeah.
finger and fires away. Eventually will fall.
Seconds left.
Again, though, it is really dire for DFM in yet another attacking round. So the best case scenario for them going forward now is going to be 3.
Sekarat banget, Cok. 1 tap ini orang.
39. I'm still a bit worried.
Udah
210.
kekecilan soalnya.
Dear
Nggak
God,
apa-apa buat di
please.
koleksi
10
anjir.
seconds
But
left.
it's just
Kalau
tough,
emang
isn't it?
maksud gue tuh kalau
every
emang udah
round, like you
kekecilan,
said, DFM,
dijadiin frame.
I don't know what kind of
bagus.
battering ram they're using to try to break down these doors, whether it's B or A, but it's clearly not made of sturdy enough material. Kaide, trying to keep players invested. If he does go for that fight and he loses against Zexy, that's not good. At the same time, when the team just rushes in, an annihilation was already prepared by LP, has all those traps. They're just walking straight into him. They need to kind of maybe go in early, break down the deadlock wall, try to toss in shock darts to hit those trips, and then you kind of open up more options. But if you're just waiting to try to pull off a sudden silent surprise play, waiting for the deadlock wall to fall, it's still a little bit readable.
Well, if nothing else, it can be said that Varel have had a very strong defensive half.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Same thing with Zexy. Oh, he's gonna peek out.
He's gonna get another one. I mean, it's just, it's like Groundhog Day. I've seen this movie before.
Santai banget dia kalem,
Put
bro.
on a different one. I'm a little bit sick of Groundhog Day.
Iya.
Don't think we have any other ones.
Who's in Groundhog Day? Tom Hanks?
Oh, yang gradasinya api itu sih yang Jepang.
Forrest Gump or, you know, May and, well, Yatsuka, I guess, to run somewhere. They're, again, waiting for that deadlock wall, and now maybe trying to feign some presence, go mid to B.
Okay, well, this is ambitious.
All right.
Okay.
No real connection solidly.
Oh, Zexy.
He's trying to throw the kitchen sink at Varel at this point if you're DFM and hope for something.
I'm not really.
Kenapa nggak ditembak, monyet?
Yeah, well, we'll see. You asked for Yatsuka to run somewhere, and he has run all in with the overdrive. That'll be the end of Zexy. Zuna still here to defend, and somehow, again, gets away with a 3K. It's a miracle work again. 4 HP. Could be on for the 4K. Yep. Yatsuka is playing a dangerous game with that op in hand. A missed shot, and you are dead, or maybe not.
Ya, di klasik.
14 seconds, though, and the flood's going to come through for Varel. If there's another tap, that'll be the end of that. 10-2, the first half for Varel. A massive comeback from map 1.
Lumayan rare. Anjing.
I don't know if it's possible.
Sayang banget lo, Ega.
I don't know, Jordan.
Lu kangen ke Surabaya.
Not right now.
Ntar, gua ambil kopi dulu.
I mean, just look at this. Again, another round starts off. Zexy's just farming up first kills at this point, especially with that op of his. But for Zuna to be able to pull off that play, I mean, we've seen several hero plays now by multiple players already, but another one from Varel stepping up. And DFM have to be questioning, like, what is going on? They were pretty good on Lotus, you know, for lack of a better word. Just being able to pick up the pace, double duelist, you know, being able to kind of come in with some adaptations of their own as well, mid-rounding a bit. But onto Ascent, like, we're seeing none of that. They're trying some things, but still the fundamental issues lie. The deadlock wall, they're getting corralled around different spots. They're becoming a bit more readable. And you're just going to stake everything onto the defense. I don't know.
Yeah, look, like I said, DFM, they had a pretty damn good defense against Paper X, but they had more rounds to play with, and I think this is a tough ask. You have to win the pistol, no doubt, for DFM. We weren't going to keep Varel quiet for long, particularly not Foxy9, who has been so good this season so far. Another really, really strong first half from him. Obviously, we talked about Zexy with the openers there as well. Pretty good cameo from LP2.
And then there was Zuna.
Yeah.
That's just to support.
It's just, yeah, it was across the board very solid from Varel. You don't get a 10-2 half without everybody kind of having some kind of contribution, but see how this pistol does go. Must win for DFM if they want to take this series 2-0 and find their first win of Split 2.
Otherwise, it could kiss playoffs pretty much goodbye at this point. And then into
playoffs,
and you have to go against counters teams. That's always scary as well. What is this?
Well, it's not going to cause too many issues apart from the fact that Varel now have been given an avenue into the B site. Zexy feeling a little bit hot under the collars, trying to get some right clicks in there. No success at all, but the rest of Varel is there to help on out. It's across the board.
Gila,
a sweep from Varel, and that might be the case for the map as well.
Map 3.
4-on-1 for Cess to try and do anything.
Yeah.
Such
utter teamwork. Progression smoke as well. It's just incredible. Quickly flooding over, and that's, I don't know, what DFM's not fully accustomed to it yet. Even though, yeah, the right clicks were whiffed out. Foxy9 still close by. Suna's still close by. And it's just incredibly smart from LP to be able to, you know, put this kind of a play together. Like, even having the barrier mesh out towards the back of Fountain was enough, but Cess?
Oh my.
Okay. I thought he was him for a second.
I thought so too. That was one more shot away from being a very interesting looking round, but in the end, 11-2 for Varel at this point. DFM, you'd
Biar nggak
probably
ngantuk lo ya.
into this round.
Have to. Oh man. And if it doesn't work out,
beres ini mandi ya
we're
kan.
just gonna straight away look at
Ramas.
then. Yep. The decider of the series, one that DFM themselves left open, but if they're looking at 10-2 first half on their own map pick, I really shudder to think what's going on. Maybe they just weren't prepared for a deadlock comp. Still though,
not much of an investment in the end.
Bantai ini tadi mereka bantai-bantai, Cok.
Apart from that, just some pistols.
3 stack on B side at least.
Drone's going to spot 1 or 2. Zexy looking for the entry. Dash up and over the top, but just to take the space. Really trying to pressure into the site itself just yet. Cage will slow things down. Varel a bit more interested in the pivot towards spawn, which has worked out perfectly. Now Klaus holding down the alternative line for DFM. Plan's going to go in the direction of A.
So
berapa scam kurang anjing.
DFM within their own site.
Well, they know they've got them stuck, and there's no reason to push past this crossfire. They're not going anywhere.
Flawless.
TikTok rank lu apa? Ascendant 3.
Comeback?
Kok kan rating nanti Spider-Man, oke.
Straight up.
Abang tidak spoiler.
You kind of sound like a disappointed Asian father now.
Gue pengen jadi Spider-Man tapi yang gini-gini.
German.
Kalau jadi Spider-Man gitu boleh nggak Ega?
Wow. What a decision to, like you said, like pivot all the way towards the back of spawn as well. Like, it's just not that common, and DFM don't expect it. But then again, they weren't exactly equipped for anything.
Filler.
And here we go.
Oh, banyak
Let's see
kayak
what they can pull out at the
kayak peran-peran yang nggak penting dia. Kan namanya juga reset, itu juga jatuhnya kan kalau dari yang gue baca, gue nggak baca hipnosisnya sih. Lebih ke dari trailer, terus kan jatuhnya itu kan Spider-Man reset dari nol, kayak a fresh startnya Spider-Man gitu loh. Wajar kalau ada fillernya, ya kan, wajar banyak filler. Karena apa? Buat pengenalan satu-satu lagi, nanti mungkin di kedepannya bakal ada lagi kayak gitu.
Zexy falling, DFM looking to try to come back into their own. Zuna gets a little bit of success for Varel, but it's not going to be quite enough to get them back into this round. Akame's putting on a clinic. Zuna's position noted as well. Kaide will claim the final kill for DFM. 12-3.
Ini kalau sampai 12 tiba-tiba 12, crazy anjir.
Thanks to Akame, yes. Gonna need so much more of that just to extend this map. But take a look at the mini-map as well towards the end of it. I mean, it didn't eventuate to much else, but very, very intriguing.
Tapi menurut gua,
nerdy little barrier match
kalau dari film Marvel ya, yang menurut gua, makasih. Kalau dari gua, menurut gua, anjing nge-freeze lagi, Cok.
Entirely in defender spawn, and unfortunately DFM took a little bit more time to cross. Either way, though, it's now Varel pushing out. Let's take a quick listen in.
Langsung saya DFM comeback. Jangan.
오케이, 천천히. 야, BTB가 피스톨 한번 더 하자. 스파이크 대드락탄 주라. 오케이, 쓰고. 확인했어. 네, 미드 드론 중 지금 미드 나온 거 조심.
게이트에서 뛰어라.
얘들아, BTB로 저기 일 아니야, 우리? 자,
BTB 일로 해서 여기서.
내가 B맨 카메라 있거든, 여기에. 이거 소리 안 들리게 와. 얘들아, 나 실수해서 쓰고 아까 소바 앞라인에 있었어, 얘들아.
Mana ya, mana?
얘들아, 나 실수해서 스모크 하나야. 총으로 걸려야 돼.
And it's Akame inside of B main. He's
kalau menurut gua nih, apa namanya? Marvel yang bagus masih satu. Itu ini.
They do that same deadlock wall. Oh my gosh.
Sangchi. Sangchi bagus banget anjir. Kombatnya 10/10 anjir. Kayak dari awal film berantem. Bagus banget anjing. Menurut gua. Hey!
As far as Varel are concerned, that is the site taken. That is going to be the plan. Probably going to be the map as well.
Kayaknya ada ikan.
Really not much else. They're going to spend a little bit of resources, break down the wall. They start to set their foot in, but there's no flash, no real smokes to speak of.
Bulcar emang cakep. Iya sih, kayak beneran kayak dari umur 14 tahun sampai sekarang maksudnya pendewasaan umur.
Loses the initial duel. It's a good trade from May. But you're running out of options here with only 2 players left alive. May and Zess have to pop off, and now it's just May, and he's been covered off by Foxy9. No kill extra there for him.
1v3.
1v3 with time ticking away. May
Tangsi
has to get a bit of a wriggle on this.
soalnya
Taps
emang
headed in
iya,
his
soalnya
direction.
kayak
He's tagged down
apa ya,
low as well. That smoke will fade, and that will be that.
tradisional
I think we all
China-nya itu
knew where
dapet
that map
banget.
was going.
Kayak
13
ibarat
to 3, especially when
Jet
that
Li
second
sama
pistol was
Jackie
converted
Chan
by
tuh
Varel. So we will indeed
berantem.
require a third map here between Varel and DFM. A DFM who I imagine will feel pretty disappointed in that map. You know, things might have been different had they started on the defense.
Game 3 adik-adik. Terus juga waktu itu gue lihat kan kayak jauh dari sebelum Spider-Man ini keluar, kayak berapa ya? Kayak hamin 2 minggu keluar, kayak ada aja gitu potongan di apa? Potongan di TikTok gitu. AI gitu. Kayak ada momen dimana Peter Parker sedang makan roti bersama Andrew Garfield, kan kayak kontol gitu loh. Kata gue nih AI anjing, nggak mungkin anjing. Multiverse-nya autis lagi kan, nggak mungkin anjing. No way. DFM Korea sambil. VL Jepang. Dari namanya dari nama-namanya udah kelihatan, guys. Kayak Akame. Udah kelihatan. Ntar gue pengen lihat grup sambil lihat grup stage. Tuh. Bentar. Besok ini kan ini sekarang nih. Besok FS, bisa lah FS menang. PRX. Besok jam 3 guys, gimana guys? Stream Minecraft nubruk guys. Di One DFM. Oh Jepang juga ya DFM ya? Sorry ralat, maaf. Sama-sama Jepang. Atau ya kenapa semua kayak tebakan gue di trailer banyak yang ketebak gitu, jadi mungkin dia bikin film nggak terlalu wah. Iya sih. Tapi Shang-Chi masih juara anjing. Kayak kalian yang nonton Marvel, penyepong Marvel, saran gua lu nonton Shang-Chi yang belum nonton Shang-Chi. Bagus banget anjing sebelum nanti Doomsday ya, akhir tahun ini ya. Desember ya? Tahun ini gak sih? Iya kan? Iya. Terus Marvel juga pintar buat ngadain Black Panther 3. Dia bagus banget dari caranya, dari kayak cara dia ngambil. Ternyata di akhir cerita dari Black Panther 1 ternyata ada anak bocah, dan itu menjadi the next T'Challa, anak angkat jatuhnya kayaknya harusnya. Saran gue lu nonton Hawkeye pasti Hoam. Hawkeye gue yang sama itu kan? Siapa? Hawkeye itu yang sama aneh banget jir. Refresh teman-teman, jangan nge-lag. Gede banget dah. Autis anjing. Internet gua babi. Hawkeye series. Iya anjir, gue udah nonton ini Hawkeye. Iya, Hailey Steinfeld. Anjing, nonton gue itu. Itu yang panahnya di ini. Menurut gue seru ah. Kayak apa ya? Rada family friendly sedikit lah ini Hawkeye. Rating gue 6,5 lah. Bagus ini. Yang kayak ada bel apa sih? Bel gitu, bel gede terus dihancurin anjing. Nonton gue ini, Hawkeye. Bagus jir, series Christmas lucu lah. Gue kira di situ bakal ada kisi-kisi Spider-Man anjing, soalnya ini kan bertepatan dengan setelah multiverse kan. Setelah lupa sama semua orang. Soalnya ini setnya di New York. Gue kira kan. Malah mereka yang tidak ada. Heartbreak. Masih 1 menit lagi. Kita berlanjut ke game 3 adik-adik. Sambil melihat Tiki Toko kali ya. Tiki Toko.
Malah balik. Anjing gak saya
Harus ke kamarna euy, karebat anjing. Ngapain
Tade.
Negaraku ini.
Oke.
Doxley. Goblok banget nih. Doxley. Goblok banget nih. Apa kisah cinta Romeo dan Juliet? Jangan gitu, gila. Oh maga, Oma. Goblok banget, Cok. Doxley. Goblok banget nih.
Give the whack, Frank. In the shuffle. Oh, what a save! Unbelievable save! Oh, that's good. Attaboy. That was good enough. Ooh, look at that. That's perfect. Okay, I need a whistle. No, what a save!
Belum.
Gimme. No, I know. Ini lihat aku punya labi-labi, kamu mau labi-labi gak?
Dia di sini pon kelapa anjing.
Duba cuy kuku.
Nah kocak, lu gak pernah liat konten gua ya? Gua udah nge-review 2 Dubai Ciwi Cuki.
Oh iya.
Parah banget jir, followan TikTok doang, gak ngeliat.
Ya.
Ya Bial. Ya.
To this team has typically been a solid one. Idea is still whirring through for Varel as they decide where they want to go. It looks to be towards the A site, short and long, both open for them at the moment.
Just not seeing anything else from DFM yet, so like you said, I mean, just having some of these options, but maybe also trying to keep their positions concealed so as to explode onto site, making full use of their utility rather than using them to clear forward positions. So it's that sort of slow creep. Maybe you face check into garage, which is always a little worrisome. Oh no, they're trying to sell a bit of a fake to B first. And now contact into C.
It seems to have worked out pretty nicely. Akame can't win this duel, and Cess is there a little too late. He's kind of out in no man's land until that smoke does come down and obscures his vision and position. Plant will be confirmed, but Yatsuka seems to be a miracle worker on low HP. I don't know how he keeps doing it. A 4K again, Yatsuka out of nowhere. It's just this low HP wonder kid.
Oh my god.
40 HP this time, so it wasn't quite, you know, the 3 or 4 HP that he had in that Ascent round, but that round just, you know, it probably should have gone the way of Varel based on the setup that they had.
This is so good, though. Oh, I think he dropped his crown. Let me pick it up. That's so good. I mean, initial contact, the flashes being sent across back and forth, but he kind of predicts or anticipates where LP would be positioned, and of course has a bit of assistance from his team as well, getting his opponents down to low HP, but this is a resurgence of confidence for the team as well. Now they've got the pistol.
Got an investment here from Varel though. Bucky for Zexy. Interested to see what he's going to get up to with that.
Just to burst in the garage. Oh.
There's a trip spotted out. Kaide taking advantage of it, gets the better of Zuna. So far, no real success for Varel. They take a bit of space, and this will be where Zexy looks to activate. Kaide has that one on lock. Nice sharp shot in from Klaus. Overall, though, TFM will be pretty happy with how this is proceeding so far, and May setting up for an aggressive fight if he wants to. Ends up actually eating a bullet to the head. Much of a muchness. Foxy 9, see if he can get a little bit more damage out here. Has an upgrade now. Headshot would be nice. There it is.
Oh no.
How much more can he do? 40 seconds on the clock here. Foxy 9, he's been a bit of a miracle worker, but this time Akame says no. 2-0. DFM do convert.
Sorry guys.
It is a pretty costly conversion.
Yeah. 3 players lost. At least they'll be able to pick the rifles back up. But
yang mau gue tanyain.
on their defense, they get a bit more proactive, especially on a map like Haven. It's just so much information, and the way that they can roll around smokes off of that. But yeah, like what we witnessed, it's gonna be working out the back foot on this round. But yeah, it's
Siapa Febrian? Dugaan hantan lagi anjing. Mas banget.
I have no idea. That's an awkward case of timing. Now a fight down the bottom of C-Long as well, going to go the way of Varel, and this round kind of just falling apart a little bit for DFM. You can get the sense as to why
bagus dia ngambil ini, Cok.
They want to
Bang
try to
Pinik.
force the issue a little bit, cause a little bit of chaos. But Varel
bedanya Mei apa? Mei sama si Jaxi tadi aimnya terlalu santai, bro. Bisa ulti, masuk garage.
The Varel thrive in these situations too. If they know you're going to be peeking out somewhere, they can go for the fight. They will.
Ya, jangan dulu.
They're passing each other.
Everything's gone the way of Varel in this round.
Enggak lihat, Cok, si bro Akame.
And they can work off of this.
Inisiator ya dia dari tadi ya. Inisiatornya dia berarti.
Some nerfs coming in pretty soon for the Phoenix ult, but right now still pretty clean. And at the same time, I mean, it's just something that DFM is going to have to consider.
Oh, dia mau mati aja nih.
They have to watch out.
Bonus soalnya.
You know, because
Kasih aku mati, Bang. Ah.
can't do it too carelessly.
Ben?
At the same time, I just kind of need to point out, as much as I love him, I have him on my build div, I believe. Kaide has not been able to get the better of his 1v1 opponents in some of these duels. I mean, for this one, yeah, but Ascent was one of those two where he would constantly fall to Zexy.
Bro Ben.
And if you're playing against Foxy9 now, that's maybe, some might say, an even
Mana ini orang anjing?
So, Oli Spaghetti, we're just gonna keep going. Op brought out by May.
Nonton YouTube ya dulu.
A little bit of what Zexy was doing in that last map.
Gak ada yang live. Hari ini pada libur semua, guys.
Varel headed in the direction of A, but we'll see how May goes as we listen in to the FM.
Kota?
Needs this kill. Yatsuka, can you be a miracle worker once again?
Aduh.
Not able to get past. Zuna for the double, in fact, and Varel are starting to take control of this round. DFM down to just Cess. In fact, and Varel are starting to take control of this round. Decide to back off and try to save that operator. Down to just Cess. Varel starting to work their way into the map.
Saving OP.
Really decisively too. I mean, might as well, right? Expending the run it back to get into sight, but then having the sensibility to still mark the flank, especially because that trip was broken. But I'm scratching my head, like, the positions, you know, sure with the op loss, the stun and everything, but where is
Ini mana nonton sampai beres?
Enggak lah.
Oh enggak. Oh, kira Perek? Perek besok ya?
Besok. Iya.
Oh, berarti ikut makan-makan dulu berarti.
1v1's not there.
Mana berangkat jam berapa?
Cena ke Tepial jam 6-an, setengah 7 lah, mentok udah berangkat.
Ya udah. Ayo berangkat juga kan ibadah dekat Link.
Iya sih. Ya soalnya tadi tanya.
Nggak sampai 20 menit, aman aja.
Iya anjir dekat banget nih.
Wen
ya.
Iya. Wen ya apa kan dulu juga deket.
Kalau di kawalian deket dulu.
Benar.
Here from Varel, they see there's nobody on the C site, and so they just go waltzing all the way up long. Take the site nice and easy.
Si Nadil udah nggak nonton ya?
Enggak anjir, dari day one dia nggak nonton.
Enggak, maksudnya udah nggak nonton lagi apa masih itu, masih PP?
Nggak tahu tuh, sesuai moodnya dia dah.
DFM are going to enjoy trying to retake this, particularly with Kaide going down like that. I mean, how do you break this crossfire? There's just no util to get you back into this round. Brown will, I think, just force the save out of DFM.
They have to die though. I mean, at least Akami and Cess do. So, hoping for some exits, if not to die to the spike. But you can also kind of already tell what Varel's post-plant protocols would
kan lagi berbunga-bunga Ben, dia nggak bisa diganggu, benar.
How DFM might take a crack at that puzzle.
Waduh.
Lah gak kena anjing.
Instead of setting up more presence around garage, Akami at least does a bit of damage there, but somewhat inconsequential too, at least until he actually does get his seekers. Either way though, I mean this is perfect, right? Like you said.
Bang Nadil nggak lapar.
Especially when they have to spike down on C.
Bang Nadil nggak lapar.
Agak lah, udah gede gitu. Cadangannya kan banyak gitu.
Waduh. Iya sih.
Multiple layers working out incredibly well for Varel if they actually get into the site. At the same time, then DFM are still holding on to this op, and it's just not finding too much value yet. Now Varel are picking up pace over onto A site. It's notoriously difficult to retake here.
Well, it's not actually going to be the site take from Varel, just going to set Klaus up forward on short, and the rest of Varel
tawan kiri. Lah, nggak dicek. Anjing nggak dicek anjing.
Kocak nggak dicek.
Goes waltzing into his death. Yatsuka, another one as well.
Aneh tuh drone tuh guys.
Really a bit of a nothing round for Varel.
Why?
Through caution to the wind. Just a bad read, I would guess.
But now you just gave one
Aldi.
to DFM.
Well, Klaus is going to try and see if he can put in some work over on the
Si
A side,
Aldi.
but Kaide is waiting for him.
Masih di mid si Aldi.
Yeah, bit of a strange round for Varel.
Mati sih guys ini Foxy9.
Why? We need
Backdrop,
TK9
iya.
intervention on the next round? Oh my god. One wall's not enough to set foot into B site. LP, come on.
Nah.
Well, it's a free one for
Iya,
DFM
susah
either
anjir ini.
way. And,
Aldi. Kelas Aldi.
Oh, kelas.
give it a go.
Gila si Aldi jing.
Hunter's free post plan.
Cuman gimana ceritanya ini?
Yeah, I mean, not
2v4.
impossible, but you're going to need Foxy9.
Gimana anjir?
Would have found a couple of kills there. Maybe I thought Zuna could get it done, but
Buset,
yeah,
burung lu.
this is a bit
Bam.
of a task and walks right into the op of May. So, as we expected, that will be a third for DFM. Farrell might have some explaining to do, but they do have money to buy back in. So they can brush that off and say, well, it was a bit of a mishap, but we'll just run it back and see how things go.
Niat tuh nanti 2 mobil. Upi pengen bawa Supra kan jelas anjing.
Pengen bawa Supra.
Iya, jadi 3.
Terus?
Ya kebanyakan maksudnya.
Oh udah jemput aing dulu aja, Link.
Terlalu hebat, Mas.
Lah, jemput aing dulu aja nggak apa-apa.
Oh ya biar Gilang sama yang lain ya.
Lah Gilang emang nggak bisa jemput. Dia dari Cibaduyut.
Ntar mana? Oh, ntar naik Grab.
Naik Grab kalau aneh.
Very aggressively taking space down C. Immediately locks off a line. Kaide has honestly been bullied several times in this spot now, so he's playing incredibly safe. Meanwhile, the rest of the team just dipping their toes over onto A. May's there though.
Ball up halfway down long to just try and get a little bit more space. Thrown over the top of it. The explode isn't really there though for Varel. Happy with just the space that they've got. Meanwhile, by the way, Foxy9 into Garage has taken...
Nggak ada Ramdan. Aku live streaming ini doang Ramdan.
Goblok jatuh.
Bisa kan nih 1-4?
Anjing.
Oh.
Digedek, gelo.
Gelo.
Gak dapat 2.
And so Varel
Aldi main guys.
Successful in this round so far. Seekers will be dealt with. Plant will go down. He's going to break the trip, but
Kirain mau dilompatin itu bisa silent jam tuh padahal.
fun for DFM once again. Flash around the corner for LP.
Alas.
Perfectly. It was a wayward spray, but Kame could see absolutely nothing, and so run it back does get 1. And Kaide decides to save.
Instantly, just needing to hold on to this off still for dear life, but fantastic round put together by Varel. As soon as they heard the op warning shot fired off over by A, they immediately get that pivot over, and Foxy9 having that much space just feels like
timingnya
anjing banget
open around the map, and
ya
identified it. Suna
ketahuan.
Gives up the one tap. Kaide is happy with it.
I suppose you would be. 4-3 though.
Capping mau gimana guys? Nggak bisa itu. Pada OP hilang.
4 of the last 5 rounds as well. I think that's the more important point here. You know, the scoreline looks close, but if you take away the pistol and the conversion there for DFM, this is not really looking like much of a half so far. Need to be seeing some gun rounds come out pretty soon. Otherwise, Varel are going to start to spring out ahead.
Yes, they always do have that option. All right, there we go.
Siapa di Discord? Celing.
Set up over onto its garage, because that was the gap.
Siapa sama Beben Pincen?
Sewer A short instead. Doesn't see anything though, so as DFM, you would think your opponent's probably a little bit closer out towards the C portion of the map. No real cage or anything invested over by lobby as well, and they have to be ready.
Mati dong Zexy.
Not having a fun time trying to work into the C side. There's a lot of detail to get past in the end. Nice. Can't get past the headshot of Cess, and so this time DFM will hold strong.
Timing, Foxy9. Wah, jago emang nih orang pala mulu anjing. Gila.
Still some kind of advantage gained off of that lurk.
Mantap.
We'll get him as well.
Lagi.
So patiently. So back
Wow.
on the 4-on-4.
Go see.
Locked in on by
Flashing.
Klaus, and once again the C side is under pressure. Cess will get a smoke down. Back in that site though, has to give away his position with that shot, and
Waduh.
the entries again for Varel. They are just bullying this C site time
Tapping
and time
lagi.
again. Yo, C site.
Saving OP bagaimana? OP-nya nggak laku,
I'm gonna shove you into a locker. No, I'm
nggak dapat per skill, tebak-tebakannya salah.
But that is crazy. Look how LP actually
Kalau dapat
clears the
first skill
angle
bisa
too.
enak
He
tuh OP laku.
jumps and airstrafes a little bit.
Gelo Bayu Skak.
And the whole team's there for the trade, and that's exactly how Feral have been.
Di recon dia kalau nggak di recon bisa dapat 2 tuh si ses.
Dapat kan nih Foxy nih?
Foxy Nine's just
Dapat
so
ini dia.
quick to
Tahu dia nih.
put himself into pivot positions where he can cut opponents off
Oh,
and
dia ke
rotate
Heaven.
too. And it just continues to just buy DFM's attention away from
Di
the
sini nggak ada,
actual
lihat
hit
CT dia deh.
unfolding onto C.
Udah, lihat CT dia.
Even as Kaide tries
Lompat.
to get back out, he cannot do much. He can't even find a
Wah.
frag.
Bisa deh.
And it's another round where we see Mei off to a save. I kind of almost want to see Mei get mobile again on a rifle or something, but
Yeah. It must be getting frustrating, right? If you're DFM having to constantly save these guns and think, okay, well, we'll get him in the next round, and we'll get him in the next round, and then the next round never really comes, and it feels as though the deeper we go into this map, the more comfortable, the more clean this is looking for Varel.
yeah.
DFM need an adjustment, they need a change up, they need something. They need a hero. Again, they need Mei maybe with that opt to get aggressive early on in these rounds, but he just can't. There's a molly at his feet, there's a dart there as well, and he's not allowed to progress and fight on the line that he wanted.
And he's still going to keep this position because he thinks they might be aggressing back in, but
It is at least some forward space that's getting you some early information.
look at BNC. Okay.
Ben ada dress code-nya cenah.
Once again though, the pressure
Apa?
is over towards C.
Ada, pokoknya ada nuansa merah sama birunya.
Iya
tapi all.
Merah sama biru.
Gila
gua.
Merah aja nggak apa-apa sih kalau ada merah. Apa misalnya kayak mana
Udah,
baju?
gue pakai baju perek yang lama.
Tiba-tiba anjir.
Anjing. Ada tuh gua baju Spiderman Jawa, guys.
Mental note to
Beliin guys,
Varel that
Spiderman Jawa.
maybe the A side isn't going to be quite so easy to overwhelm.
Oh, Yatsuka. Okay. Sending his own lurk. He's behind Foxy 9.
Ntar gua alasan aja. Ntar gak dikasih tahu.
Soalnya ini ngechat, kasih tahu yang lain.
Aduh.
They just try to make a risky play through it, and it kind of works 1-for-1. It's really not what they needed, but they at least have some space paranoia there to try and slow the plant down, but Akame spotted out by LP. And Cess, again, is going to go and try and save the op.
Akame walked through the smoke dry, though.
I mean, you're out of options at this point for DFM. Nothing is working. You're just trying to take a risk and hope for the best.
Exactly.
Varel seemed to be a little bit too switched on at the moment.
They're still giving up again. It's diminishing returns.
Well, who knows? Maybe Mei.
Party Mangu udah bubar. Adli, salahin Pai. Lu bilang ke Pai Adli ya. Tolong.
Dor. Seping aja terus tuh openg gak laku.
Hold on to it, but otherwise.
Beneran
Ini
nggak ya?
ngaruh nggak? Lumayan dikit.
Masterfully picking apart this map.
Tapi ini belum update tentang Phoenix
Have so many options to try and feign bits of presence.
Itu run it back Neo 9.000 berarti berapa Ben? 1-2 ya? Itu yang bundle.
Oh kalau gua kan Neo Frontier udah punya yang satu, jadi yang keduanya murah 6.000.
Otherwise, down to 2v3 still a little bit too much to do.
6.000-an, kalau yang 9.000 ya itu sejuta.
And as DFM, it feels like every time you see your opponents, you know, create a bit of
Udah beli yang
presence
awal
on
soalnya,
spot,
baru ngelengkapin
rotate
doang.
over, but then the hit actually goes off elsewhere.
Emang belum beli?
Belum. Nanti. Mau langsung satu itu run it back semuanya udah.
Agas.
For this team because it actually looks like they might go down 0-3. That's shout out to Misa, our Japanese counterpart. I think she was either hosting or the translator back over in Japan last year when we were in Tokyo. But I don't know how she's feeling watching DFM perform like this.
I mean, in a roundabouts way, Varel is a Japanese org, right? So, you know, it's kind of a win either way.
Because DFM were the protagonist.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, look, it's tough going at the moment for DFM. They, again, save that op, and let's see what May can do. It's been tossed on over. You are basically a hero op. You have
Dukung yang mana? Nggak ada yang gue dukung. Cuman ya udah nonton aja ini. Gue membuka watch party untuk semua orang yang menonton. Bel gini.
Dapat dia monyet.
Gila.
Ya. Kena stun. Buset, Zexy mengamuk. Bala OP-nya, tuh lu ngomong bala dapat 1 tadi. Pas dia dapat first kill langsung diganyang anjir, temennya juga bisa bantu.
Perfect relay bolts straight into the slide, hit by Paranoia, doesn't matter.
Nice banget, cok.
Heads up duel by Akame, but what are you gonna do?
Saving lagi.
He picks up the hop.
Yeah, of course. What else?
It's cursed.
True. It's like monkey's paw. Like we will get to have an off every round, but it literally basically does nothing.
Yeah. Well, the cage.
Yeah. And how'd that end up?
Thanks for reminding me.
You know, this is not the Zexy.
Harusnya bisa ngebaca sih kalau di T-spawn.
Where every single opening pick kind of
baca kah di T-spawn? Anjir.
Buset.
Tahuan deh. Aceh.
Nah, dua-duanya ace berarti nih, guys. CL ace, DFM ace.
But May immediately buys the op again. But at least it's a different one.
Okay.
Maybe this one's not cursed.
No kidding, Jordan. Well, let's take a look at how this is done. At the Hunter's free for support too. And that's just how many layers Barrel has in some of these rounds on top of DFM. DFM have been just trying to catch up to it.
Jir AWP lagi, co, si Mei.
Bit of utility to feign presence. Akame tries to clear it out, but it's just not enough.
Ada 1 ya kan. Dan nama siapa? Aku bareng Bebe nonton nih.
And that smoke doesn't do you any favors either. Meanwhile, Varel are just fishing around, hoping that someone could peek out around B or garage even, but oh no, DFM, they're worried.
Pusing, co, DFM anjing. Defender pusing, co. Ditabrak-tabrak masuk masalahnya, guys. AWP-nya nggak main sih. Tuh, tahu dia timing si Mei mau nge-pick apa enggaknya loh. Kasian si Mei nggak main banget, Jir.
Iya anjir, galak udah Mei cepet atuh retake. Itu udah info itu temen lu.
Masih dia. Oh, baru.
Dia pasti nungguin info Cypher. Ada Cypher gak? Kalau ada Cypher baru gerak dia. Oke, udah pasti telat anjir.
Terus juga kalau dia nge-pick kebaca Ben itu.
Iya. Jadi mereka tahu nih, oh OP-nya dia, ya udah gas aja.
Mei bermain. Ya, dia masih lari-lari.
Tolong sunanya. Masih dapat on.
Anjing.
Oke. Akhirnya dapat juga nih DFM.
A 4th in the half. If they could get to a 5th, maybe there's a conversation to be had.
You know what? The off got the last kill in the round too.
Bang.
Okay.
So on.
Really close effort by LP. Incredible. But this time around, the setups actually worked out in favor for DFM. Having Yachts got in position, kill trips as well. Seaside perhaps not quite the option that they want to work off of any longer, but it's just a layer of flashes as well. I mean, DFM didn't really spend too much in the early portions of the round. Not even a relay bolt. Oh god. Okay, May off B. Varel just completely avoid it. Straight on into A. And if you're DFM, you're still thinking like, Well, we've seen them feign presence towards
Cokot
this
asu.
site in multiple rounds now. Are they actually getting it or not? Trailblazer spots out one player.
Ya ulti nih si Akame si 4 ulti. Ulti B.
Pusing.
Keluar tuh 2 util. Ih, pinter banget, Cok. Rotate-nya.
Half a second too slow, but still.
Mei main.
Aduh, satu doang.
Gila. Sudah dapat 3.
Woi!
1v1 Lord. Lord on.
On.
He's got the spike and he's actually just going to chance the plant on A, which is a bold move instead of running over to B.
Kalau on kalah sih kacau nih, guys.
Take the fight to Cess.
Ya smoke, Bang.
Lawannya Lord ini.
Knows he has to come from long, at least on this timing. Elsewhere short, that's also covered.
Nah, nih.
Enak dong ini.
Just needs to hit this
untung
shot,
nggak
which
kena.
he will. Varel goes to 8. DFM minor success in this first half, but you'd have to say this is Varel's map to lose.
Feels like it for sure, but doesn't seem like that's gonna be happening either. I mean, just so clean with how multiple of these fights and trades go through. As you called it, all the fakes, every single bit of conditioning from the previous rounds, working on the.
Tuh main WP sama Mas Beben? Enggak, karena ada 1-2 pertanyaan harus gua tanya Nolip. Soalnya hari ini mau nonton, jadi ada Beben juga kan, jadi gua harus nanya.
8-4.
Emboldened to, you know, play more sneaky positions.
DFM kalah pistol sih bisa dead set ini, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's been quietly putting together a pretty good series, even though he didn't play that opening map. There's a lot of good reasons why you'd want to have him in the lineup permanently.
Disobek anjing. Udah pasrah guys, fansnya guys. Lah, ada Mecha Chameleon anjir.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, how else would you feel? We'll see what the attacking side works out for the team, but otherwise, all eyes on Varel.
Lanjut FS, tidak mau nonton dulu ya besok.
This wave, ride this momentum, possibly over into a 3-0 result at the end of groups from this match.
Well, pistol round going to be all important once again for DFM. Said the same thing in the second half of Ascent. It didn't obviously go their way. See what they can do in the second half of Haven as they roll out on this attack, already having been spotted out by Zuna.
They have to watch out for trips, DFM.
Indeed. Zuna not going to have any trips to help him out here on shore.
4 biji. 1-2.
Tawan itu, meninggal lu.
As well, Relay Bolt will connect easy for Yatsika on the entry. Trips coming into play now, but a little bit too late. 4-on-3 retake on the A site seems like a pretty doomed prospect.
Yeah, no one in position to capitalize off of it, unfortunately. Still, at least there are flashes available for Varel to gain some space.
Kayaknya berak di.
Yet to lose a player. Smoke's going to go down, perfectly timed, and Zexy goes sliding straight into the crosshair of May.
Oke, menang pistol nih, aman nih, DFM nih. Oke, main nih, main.
With 3K once again, DFM keep it interesting.
That's pretty neat. Progression smoke, and DFM set up their own smokes. They play inside of it, so that completely nullifies whatever flash you might try to send through, even as Zexy tries to create a bit of space as well. I mean, even with the Omen Paranoia, that's just nearsighted, so still clean enough. This is now both pistols for DFM. They have to at least put up a bit of a fight on their attacking side.
Mau nonton bioskop? Iya, Dalu Parker main film.
Once again, going to invest a little bit.
Temennya Peter Pasteur itu.
As well, so it's not as if Varel are getting nothing out of this round, and a cheeky setup again on short. We've seen that kind of setup work before. If DFM were to make the wrong choice to go in that direction.
Foxy 9 Bandit in garage.
I'll be hearing a few steps there.
DFM playing safe as well, though, so could just... Oh, hang on.
Well, it's all on the shoulders of Foxy9 here, and that is not a favorable duel to be taking. Swung.
Masuk, pelantin.
DFM.
Gila, berak di belakang itu kayak Day. Pintar.
Nice easy plant, and more than likely a nice easy round here as well.
Yeah, that's okay.
Business as usual in the second half.
Not seeing too much in terms of retakes from Varel just yet. And again, they are working off of double duelists, so still a little bit painful for now as they get held off around the choke point again. Some inconsequential kills. We'll see if Zuna or Klaus can fish up a bit more and get more points towards their ultimates, which could be neat, but none for Zuna. And Klaus eventually fall around by Garage.
Aman.
Kame wanted the knife.
Ronde sesungguhnya.
Not going to get it this time, but does get the 6th round there for DFM.
Bisa
which
otek
is big news, because this game is a bit of a contest once again. Could have been blown out to something like a 10-4. We'd be saying, well, this is pretty over. Leaning a little bit more in the direction of what we saw on map 1. DFM can get it together on this defense, then it's still going to be a winnable series for them.
He has 7 points.
It wasn't the knife that he wanted, it was the ult that he wanted, I guess.
Kena burung. Cus!
Uh-oh. And we start off with LP onto the Odin. Big spam, Mei low HP, or at least medium. Akame should be able to heal him up though, but close enough. They're going to leave him on an insert. What's the play here? DFM maybe trying to poke a little bit, bait some kind of a reaction out over on A. Mei peeks off of it. Farrell playing it safe as well, though. Early presence, but not much
Parker
else
muncul
across
pas
the map,
film
so
terus.
they're happy to sit still on A.
Patience is a virtue, as they say. That's what we're going to need.
Oh, ada backside tuh, tawan.
Klaus was spotted out there by the dog.
Kurang kanan, Mas. Ah.
Hovering around.
Berapa peluru itu keluar?
Could just actually group back
Kok
up and
nggak hancur, kok nggak
make a
hancur kurang
gamble
kanan.
against Klaus, but
It seems that might be the case. I mean, this is
Wait,
going to start
ini
to
dia
become
padal
a
batu.
bit of an awkwardly timed
Kayaknya
round.
sekarat.
Things don't go well from here.
Jangan
Mana
mati, jangan mati
Kayaknya di
abang-abangan.
okay.
They have an open C site. Klaus happy to play for the retake.
Nggak bisa plan.
Yeah, look at how healthy all the Varel players are, as opposed to DFM, who are spending bits of utility just to break into the site too.
Yeah, and it's actually a
dihajar
retake
dah.
out in front of that plan. It does eventually go
Tawan.
down, but Varel already swarming onto the site.
Gila,
so
gila, gila.
they don't have time
Kejut
to
ge
really
anjing.
calibrate themselves in the post plan
Rata
at
sama
all
Aldi, guys.
before it even starts. It's an easy one
Flawless.
for Varel. Granted, bonus round there for DFM, but Varel looking pretty good.
Yeah, much
Lalu
more
Parker
of a
will return in Avenger Doomsday.
solid retake.
Zam.
Just trying to work the map, reading, you know, what DFM tried to set up. Because they only saw, you know, a Cypher or maybe some Sky utility and towards the C site, it's not enough. It's not where the hit's most likely to go. But as soon as they spot out Mei trying to cross, like, they're just so quick to rotate on over. Varel is so prepared for all of these potential hits that DFM are trying to send in, but we'll see if a potential rush breaks that cycle and have a listen in onto Varel and see what they can put together.
Ya, coachnya mah mesen GrabFood anjing guys tuh. Oh enggak ada yang lagi nyatet ya.
Nyatet Ben.
Gawe deh, udah gawe real.
No, just not really seeing anything. Very careful approach from DFM and just communicating all the little bits and pieces that they see, but there's really not too much to work off of, which means Suna alone onto A. Well, he's going to find some contact off of the drone that hopefully should be enough.
Anjing berbaris, Cok.
Berban lucu banget lagi.
Wah, kaget tuh. Jadi ya nih Aldi ganyang, Aldi bermain, kita lihat Aldi. Gila Aldi.
Aldi satu, Aldi.
Gajah.
3 Aldi.
Oh, he could have got 4 too. Still, DFM fighting their way into the site. Seeker's
Wah,
got hunting there as
anjing.
well. It's all over the place. Zexy up into heaven, nice and quickly. Could catch Cess on the exit here if he decides to.
Iya.
But Kaide
Hah?
was
Dia
watching
nggak dengar
for it.
reload itu?
And Zexy went a little bit too soon, so now it's all on the shoulders of Klaus. He'll be aware.
Reload kan
There is
itu
one
tadi, guys?
player underneath heaven, but he's got no idea where Klaus is. Now the info given,
Wah,
but
jadi
the shot is
kalah,
connected, and
anjing. Marah ada si
despite some
Aldi.
heroics from Foxy9, Varel will not get through that round.
Might have had the stats, but not quite the dog in him. Klaus not quite able to clutch it out, despite recognizing positions. Foxy9 though, my word. But it all comes down at the hands to Kaide, who is just like hiding right underneath inside of hell. How does Zexy not anticipate or clear that out? I mean, he must be thinking that there are more players positioned commonly towards graffiti instead, but does bite him in the back, and now you go with another buy.
I think he just felt he had a timing there that he could try and catch Cess. Maybe would have been better off waiting for Klaus, but it's easy to say that in hindsight. Now Klaus will have a bit of work to do over towards B, and it's a full hit from DFM as they go charging in. They toss all that util up just to cause a bit of chaos.
Wah, Aldinya mati.
This gets Foxy9, and there's nowhere for Klaus to hide.
Ragu-ragu tuh keluar tuh si Zexy.
Back in the second half.
I don't disagree. This is actually, I think, the best opportune moment for DFM to come in with a strat like this as well. I mean, a set play like this, actually. In so many of their rounds, even on defense, DFM starts off a little bit more slow. They want to leave themselves options to mid-round with. But it's a swing round now. Varel are going to either be broke or, you know, if they take the round, you know, flush with cash. But otherwise, DFM just suddenly pick up the pace. And once in Blue Moon, it's a quick
Melawan nih.
Varel just don't expect that at all. The first time in this half where DFM has come in with their own set play rush and instantly 2 players down, you're forced to save. Varel are going to be, I guess, going into the next round of the half buy, and it's the perfect chance for DFM to tie up the score.
It feels like they're going to do it as well, doesn't it? DFM are on the warpath.
Truthfully though, not, oh yes, hydration break. Not impossible for Varel to come back in off of their own weapons as well. I mean, 3 weapons secured over for the next round. They have some big ultimates. LP onto the run it back is always going to be huge.
Varel going to recognize that the clock is ticking if things are maintained in the current trajectory. Varel is going to end up losing this map, actually, despite the fact that they're up 9-8, 5 rounds into the half. We've only seen 1 for Varel, and it was the anti-bonus. So
biasanya yang timer-timer gini menang nih. Bilang link, oke Bi. Oke Bi udah mampir ya.
Got them thinking, got them a bit concerned. Foxy9 again has kind of been the standout, and he's got a big job to do on a map like Haven. You often see that.
Dia udah pakai masker, tapi mesti ditutup. Apalah maunya?
Not backfilled by the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not going to be enough there for Varel.
I kind of want to see a little bit more from Zexy. LP is still decent so far, but again, at least in some of these early portions of the rounds, losing to bits of pressure or not quite getting the read against DFM as well. I mean, the same could be said for DFM in their defensive side. That's always going to be the tricky thing about playing on Haven. Oh, DFM off the timeout, they're rushing into C.
Yeah, Foxy9 can't see anything. That flash did connect, so has to pop the cage and back
it up.
Aldi, ya kurang kanan Aldi.
There's numbers here for Varel, but they're not.
Aduh.
Two
Anjing.
of the Blade Storm. Does get shot in the face through the smoke rather unceremoniously, but in the end, LP only able to get 1 with that run it back, and that is not enough to hold the site by any stretch of the imagination. DFM
Sepi nggak punya uang lagi.
Now going to go to 9. There is no doubt in my mind.
El miskin.
Not gonna lie, they kind of beat Varel at their own game. Okay, Suna's gonna stay safe enough. But I mean, we all saw that. He had the stun, was in position with the judge, Zexy. There was even a flash coming out from Klaus, but despite getting stunned and hit up, you know, because DFM pulls off, you know, the most surprising of rushes, I suppose. Earlier on it was B, this time it was C. despite being stunned, despite being
Cek CT-nya.
or blinded, they were still able to group up together as either a trio or having multiple other players around the sites. Just being able to take more body shots, get some hits against Varel, and they withstand that onslaught. And then they go again, where now, almost for sure, Varel are kind of broke. And the lead feels as though it has swung over onto the other side.
I mean, if not the lead, there's certainly the momentum.
Aduh, pegel punggung Acu, tolonglah DFM tuh. Kacau, Mei udah pegel guys.
Confidently. Varel don't have a lot of money, like you say, so it's going to be a half buy. You've got a couple of rifles here, couple of shotties. See what Varel can get done. It's going to have to be somewhat of an unorthodox round from them. They've gone for the 4-1 split, sort of leaving B up to Klaus, who's really only got a sheriff. Foxy 9 over towards C. With a Bucky. But they've got to make something happen with this push. LP has very progressed over on A main.
Cokot asu.
I should say. Eventually he's going to run into a trip, and I think he's going to have to go soon because this C side is going to be overwhelmed. And best case
Foxy 9 main gila, Foxy 9 main gila.
Maybe he can get himself one.
Dapat satu aja.
Never really going to get more than that. Zexy trying to come across as well. Now the hat dropped, and you'll be well aware of the positions of Varel. That lurk coming through from LP a little bit too late to have any kind of impact.
Yeah, like you said.
Zuna's just hoping for a bit of luck with this tap through the box.
Nope.
Not connecting.
Oh, the smoke comes on perfect time too.
Yeah. This surely is not recoverable for Varel. They're going to try and give it a crack
masih
behind
dapat.
that blaze wall. Zuna
Loh.
and LP do win themselves a duel on the way in. That'll bring it down to a 1v2.
Jadi
This
winnable.
is so winnable. He needs the headshot though.
Dia nggak tahu, nggak
apa-apa. Checking behind.
Dan cewek aku telat gak? Wah, kalau ngomongin cewek keceleng guys, gua nggak tahu.
What the fuck? Pe maksud. Habis mandi dia.
Hah?
And it certainly would allow them to heave a huge sigh of relief. They've gone up against, I guess, Titans already.
Soundboard gua kemana? Soundboard gua hilang nih.
But at least to
Voice mode meledak.
maybe even just put up some numbers inside of this group stage would make them feel a little bit better going into possibly play-ins or not. But wow, timeout again, TK9.
2 timeouts in about as many rounds for Varel. Not a great sign.
Yang mana Ben? Nabila 1, Nabila 2.
Really feeling the
Block.
You're just not getting any semblance of map control, it feels like, for them right now. I mean, this C site has been so exploitable. Maybe you need to start adding a second player over there, but even then,
Yang satu mah udah nggak tahu, nggak tahu kemana Ben.
Kok dijawab?
Gak apa-apa, FYI aja.
This is looking very dire indeed.
For sure. Especially considering all the work they've already just put in.
Satu udah nggak tahu kemana.
They have the players.
Udah jauh dia, di mana? Di Balenda, jauh banget tuh.
Goblok.
On the map, on the macro.
Aneh anjing jawabin.
Taking similar approaches, taking a page out of Varel's book. We'll see what this timeout does, though, because there is a big investment into this round. And we have seen them starting to place players onto deep inserts, maybe potentially to push out, set up flanks. They can't hesitate, though, that's the thing. Smoke set up, starting to try and push out, but DFM just takes
Langsung
it
saja.
back to B.
Had a lot of success with these faster plays. This time, Varel going to well and truly play for the retake. Do have the Hunter's Fury, they do have the Neural Theft, those could be useful tools depending on the circumstances. Foxy 9 might get a chance.
Red gila Mei 2 anjing.
As he's immediately taken down by Mei. Now Hunter's Fury is going to get
yang mati Akame.
and Zuna does
Wih,
have
kena lagi tuh, Kedai.
Gets even a tag onto Kaide as well, but still a 3-on-3.
Wow.
Kedai main, Kedai.
Jaxi bagus AWP-an. Map sebelumnya bagus dia.
Ya, ketahuan.
Defuse can't get it done. Varel are up to 10. They give themselves a little bit of breathing room.
It almost went off by the south side, but okay.
Apakah DFM bisa menang ini berat?
Mei lagi unlucky dari tadi mati kena timing. Itu satu. Yang kedua tuh AWP gak dapet momen. Kasian anjing. Itu sih menurut gua. Nggak dapat momen aja dia. Kayak dia nebak anjing, ternyata mereka kececo.
Zam.
Nahannya terlalu lama buat retake-nya. Lama banget. OT ini bisa OT.
just had to hit their shots, and that's exactly what they did. Varel stay alive for a moment.
This round, though, suddenly feeling pressure against A.
1-2.
Two players there. One is enough, apparently, as LP gets both Kaide and Mei, and just at the 11th hour, it might well be Varel that once again pull ahead. It's been all the way of DFM up to this point in the second half. And then a late stage spurt from Varel might be enough to get them over the line once again. Ses has ported up into the heaven position and Akame down on the ground. They're going to try and make this happen, but like, how do you break this setup? Varel have got players everywhere. With LP caught with util in hand. Zuna goes down as well, and now all of a sudden it starts to swing back. 50 seconds.
Wah, meninggal.
To play with in the end as DFM
Padahal champion kayak ini.
concede the round. Varel swinging across 11 to 10.
Masih kayaknya
Now have the advantage.
dihajar-hajar sama tim Korea ntar.
DFM
Iwan juga ntar balas dendam ya nih.
to run out soon.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that, but oh my goodness. Every single round down to the wire, even Akame just trying to pull off some hero plays and try and bring it back, but ultimately overwhelmed. I almost feel like you need to see, maybe for a potential buy round for Coach Force or Northern Lights to call in a timeout, keep things competitive for DFM, but this could be their final investment. They're going in for it. Trying to slow down the pace now after suffering that many casualties. At the same time, though, for Varel to work in with this sort of like buddy system, they're working around some of these forward spaces, chokes, having players close by for quick trades.
All right, Trip's going to be cleared out. And so too will Foxy as he just concedes control of that garage position. Little jump forward from Mei, who's going to have a little look forward. Oh, timing's awkward here. Foxy
Waduh, Aldi.
cannot
Kasih
capitalize.
12, Aldi. Anjing jago banget babe.
Starting to put a bit of pressure back on, but Varel are answering that very nicely.
Buset, dibanting lagi.
Anjing, dibanting.
Nowhere. Just the 1-2 punch, flick of the week maybe there. Keep your eyes peeled later on.
Sliding.
Now, trying to salvage things.
Parah.
Gila,
4.
once again. And Varel are up to 12.
Langsung saja penutupan, guys.
I need to, oh my gosh. Okay, at least Yasuka has overdrive, but it's not the full kit.
Can we get a Kame pop of the 2K?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get it on the POV, but I could just tell. I could tell that was nasty.
It certainly was instant. But look at Foxy 9 too. Like,
Omennya sibuk megang
Jijikol guys.
LP pops in with the run it back. It's just so quick, and how he's able to use that for a quick trade, takes down his opponents.
Man. Look at that second half. This is not how that was supposed to go. DFM were winning. They thought they were going to close it out easy, and then Varel said, no, bro. We're going to take 3 in a row, maybe 4. Game over at that point.
That's the value of a coach right there.
DFM have been holding this timeout for such a long time. They thought they might get it done without needing it. And now, is it too little too late? You've got to get through these 2 rounds. Varel have got money to buy next round, whether they win or... Well, if they win, the game's over. Whether they lose or not.
Yeah.
So, 2 big rounds. And I'm told that if DFM lose here, they will essentially, quote-unquote, secure play-ins. I'm not sure that's what you'd want to secure per se, but it means that they cannot...
Padahal siapa yang ditendang, gak ada yang ditendang, dia ganti-gantian. Jadi Klaus ganti-gantian sama Cinder. Di beberapa map dia gantian gitu. Tadi di map Essen yang main si Cinder. Ini sekarang map 3 Klaus yang main. Pertukaran deh.
Probably, I think you could argue the roster move of the off-season.
Yes. I think it certainly is, actually, if this does turn out to be a 3-0. Oh my gosh. LP.
Could well be. I mean, I like that Varel have changed it up here as well, by the way. LP sitting under the window for the first time in the half. It's going to be, you know, a cheeky position that can catch you off guard in a round like this.
100%. You're going to the site, maybe you have the plant, but this is...
Ih, gak kena trap atasnya. Foxy 9.
Foxy 9 has to get this job done. He has to do it solo.
Kurang atas ya Ben tadi ya?
Apa?
Itu trap yang atasnya kurang naik ya?
Enggak, kayaknya si Jetnya udah keburu maju duluan deh, jadi updraftnya telat. Kan dihancurin tuh
oh iya
anjingnya. Dia updraftnya di depan.
EFM have to watch their spacing though.
Thought about it, but not going to go for it anymore. Zexy.
Ya.
Be enough to win this round.
Masa hotel ya?
Dark goes through. Zuna looking for info. Klaus in with the shorty gets himself one. And maybe there's still a
belok
chance,
kanan
maybe
dia.
there's not. It is DFM that take us to 11. We will go the full
Hotel
regulation rounds in both map 1 and 3, and how painful it would be to lose it here 13-11.
Barrel, it's theirs to lose. But my gosh, do they make it close. Unfortunate whiff by Zexy for sure. Just perhaps wasn't expecting that many players up close, but that's credit to DFM for recognizing the situation and immediately playing into a close 1-and-up position instead with 3 stacked up. LP onto an Odin now. The crowd is just willing this forward. They want to see an OT.
Relay Bolt shock dart to go forward to take a bit of space, and Zexy set up for success here. Are they going to clear it? No! On the second jiggle.
Pasti di-clear gak sih ini kanan ada anjing.
Cokot asu.
Dapat. Oke. Balik ke B dong ini.
Foxy9 is maybe starting to
Foxy9.
He's going to tuck himself away.
Foxy9.
Drone clearing out long.
Wait for the eventual hit.
There's the info.
Ketahuan. Lah, ketahuan orang C aja.
No. Has to be very clinical with his shots here. If he goes around this corner and dies, that is the two-pronged approach for Varel done, though. You've got the wrap coming in from LP. I like his timing. Barrel spotted. Maybe he needs to have a look at this.
Oh,
Well, and give away Zuna and Klaus's position. This is surely DFM pushing it into OT. Another week
Buta tuh si
where they
Zuna.
look to try to get it done in OT, unless Klaus could pull off a miracle
Dewa lu,
round. He's
Klaus,
getting some
Dewa
kills,
lu.
he's getting some space, but there's too much to do.
What the
DFM secure it again. Reminiscent of that Paper X game, we go to another OT.
Just refusing to bow out in these final rounds, but it's just so impressive too. Although they were met with a bit of resistance as they set foot around A, calling that cancel over onto B site works out a treat. Even with Foxy9's
Mana yang bawa tas nanti, Ling?
just a little bit spaced too far out away
Tempe,
from
goblok.
LP.
Oh iya.
The whole team just able to capitalize onto these crucial little moments. Overtime though.
Masukin tempe di mana ntar?
And this is where the gloves are off.
Dicek gak ya? Ntar pas masuk.
Enggak lah kalau di tas mah.
Goes the way of overtime. DFM Varel could still go either way. At one point we would have all said it's DFM, and then it was maybe everyone saying Varel, and now we're back to who knows.
Hard to say, that's for sure. I mean, even with that guiding light, just not enough information to really confirm anything. But DFM definitely playing a lot more defensively though. Yatsuka spots it out, gives himself maybe a bit of an escape route.
Swing on in. Not going to go well for Zexy. That is clean from Yatsuka. Not going to slow Varel down too much. They want to try and barrel their way into C. That's where they had so much success on their own attack. But
Cewek yang paling centil, ya.
Hiding inside of that cage. Round the corner again.
Okay.
Just the one more. But just the one more might be
4-3.
enough for DFM. It does give them the player advantage for the retake.
Saya nih Feral nih.
Plan took a little while to go down as well. So DFM are well and truly on their way. In a position.
No big also pieces of utility to worry about.
That said, all 4 players from the same angle could be a problem. There's going to be a little pivot through from Kaide, maybe towards Garage.
Feral want to meet them by front.
Doesn't see anybody. Doesn't slow things down too much. There's the flash on through, and LP's going to be a dead man now on the line. Zuna and Foxy9 can't do anything. DFM have series points.
Incredible. And that was
gila, Cok. DFM anjing ngamuk.
Ngamuk. How he does it alone. I mean, the courage to be able to peek back in, get that eventual kill on the
Buset, gue tinggal cabut dari match sama. Iya, jing. Hotel lagi.
And then having that cage set up to him by Kaide as well, it just keeps
bisa nih DFM anjing.
Second where despite being blinded, Yasuka takes down another numbers advantage, like you called it, Jordan. And it's just gonna continue to give them confidence for what could be the last round of the series now. Just An eruption of cheers for the full Japanese team. That's it, though. It's Varel on their defense. Uh-oh, but they're being tested. Just Suna alone by A-Long.
Yeah, that smoke's giving him a little bit of room to work with, but has to back off eventually. Now smoke through onto Heaven. There's no secret. DFM are headed in towards the A side. Fast lane's going to get them in. Up over the top of May, and Suna for the double. It's still the backfill from Varel. Looking good for the moment. Flash
apakah DFM bisa menutup? Akame Kasegu? Oke, belum ya.
We go again. The entries just weren't
Apa
quite
lu nonton
clean
Peter
enough.
Pasteur nanti malam?
Not truly. Smokes, trips,
Banyak play in
ages, and it's just enough delay. It feels incredibly fast-paced, but it's in those split-second decisions that Suna does just enough damage to, well, similar to Yatsuka, start off the round with 2 first kills. And the whole team comes in off numbers advantage, even with a flashes through. Akame trying to dodge it. It's not enough. You go again.
I mean, at this stage, I don't know who everyone's cheering for in this crowd. I think both teams have some supporters in the house tonight. Klaus is going to try a bit of a solo push on short. Does get across.
Baju pasar gue masih sabe.
Earlier on there. This is a solid position to play from for the A side, particularly.
Iya ketahuan.
Although Zexi's now been seen. Smoke goes through. Got 2 players on short, 3 on long. Varel gonna try their hand at an A hit similar to.
Iya, pegang smoke.
Wah, rata guys.
Rata Jil.
Rata sama 2 orang.
No entry permitted. They try and initial
Yuk,
scouting
tutup
work
DPM.
done by Klaus.
Hah?
Ya nih, tutup aja udah.
Fake presence as well.
Tutup kah?
Langsung saja.
Oh, DFM menang berarti cuman RRQ yang 0-3 guys.
Hihi. Just a couple of pivotal kills. Akame as well. Timeout now called. Varel does not want to let up, but can they afford it?
Well, 3 defensive
Varel menang ngegeser Perek, betul. Oh, DFM menang ngebantu Perek. Jadi sama CVL-nya.
I mean, you have to admit, like,
Tuh, jadi sama. Masih sabe. Tinggal nanti nih lihat di tanggal 9 nih guys.
Maybe not so clear on the hits, but that one where Varel won in round 26.
RRQ OTW dek.
Minggu depan cuma 1 minggu nggak ada Kamis ya. Minggu depan. Ya benar minggu depan.
Makes you wonder what their defensive setup is going to be this time around. If they play it passive, even if they try to push out, it's going to be risky either way.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, again, anybody's guess.
On a glass cannon op.
Once you get to this point in the OT, I think you can throw anything out the window. Any precognition, any strategies. It just comes down to the moment. Whether you can hit your shot, whether you can step up.
Guess so. But
whether the util connects, this and that.
DFM slowing things down. If May gets an opening pick, this could be a very different story. So Varel actually making the right call to play it safe instead.
It is an interesting call, isn't it? The glass cannon op, like you say. It's a risk. You have to prove why
Dapat infonya tidak.
To be had on A long at the moment though.
The drone sees nothing as well. Which is kind of why it's neat that Varel are playing that far back. Foxy9 probably up over by Heaven, working around kill trips, but spotted out by May as well. You see that camera and you kind of know site's not clean. DFM might call a cancel, push somewhere else instead.
May-nya udah ketahuan anjir.
Look at 2 players, A and C link. They're ready for a B hit if it comes to it.
It's late lurk actually.
3-2, 3-2.
Everything. There's no trip there to stop him. He could actually navigate past these trips if the hit happens on.
Dor.
1-2.
Out from Foxy. No,
Hey, Foxy9 hampir nge-whip.
Too soon. He was the first prong of the attack and maybe needed to be the second. Now with 19 seconds, DFM have been stalled up. They're going to try to go towards C. They're going to go through Garage. And Varel should be well and truly in position to defend it. That fast lane
Yeah.
down, but the spike's been dropped. Less now. And it's all on Klaus just at the back of sight.
Scope ya tadi, Ben?
GG, that's it, Seth.
Goes through. You're kidding me. How have they managed that? And now it is all on Foxy9, the superstar here.
Iya, pegangin tuh kamera.
15 to 13, Barrel streak is over, and DFM have their first win on stage 2. They're not going down without a fight.
Eleki, satu-satunya yang 0-3.
Zam.
Every single round inside of OT. But that is criminal though.
Waduh.
Superstar. He pulls out the
Down guys.
1v2. Thought that he had some space, but DFM.
Oke teman-teman, karena ini udah beres, aku mau siap-siap mandi dan OTW nonton. See you teman-teman di next stream. Bye bye.